And hello, everyone. Welcome, my beautiful Farlights all around the world, all around everywhere. I'm glad you're here with us, right here on Arcane Ward on Sabotage of DMs. Welcome, everybody! Yes! Oh, I'm super duper excited. Very, very excited for this one, as you can probably tell. But I'd love to see everyone on the chat. Everyone's here. Good. If you want to say hi on the chat, say hi. If you want to lurk in the background, that is absolutely fine as well. I hope you enjoy. But we've kind of temporarily taken over the Mallrat slot this week with a new adventure we've kind of put together with these wonderful players here, which is the Arcane Ward. And I'm super excited for us to share it with you tonight. So I will start by saying there are a few trigger warnings on this one. This world is not very nice. So looking at some possible get lots of shouts out, Stuart, for you on the chat. We're looking at some possible like references to infanticide, into oppression, obviously genocides. So I just want to kind of put that out there as a trigger warning that there is some very nasty things happens in this world. But again, if you do want to step away from the stream, totally understand, and our players are also have a system in place so that we can work through those as well. All right, so I thought it'd be lovely if we walk around and find out who our amazing players are. Ooh. So I think I'm going to start with somebody who's usually in the chat. And he's not been on screen since I think it was the Saboteurs when we last had a chat, Stuart. So I wanted to kind of it was a while ago. So I wanted to welcome Stuart Trader, also known as Stuart.
I'm usually the one dropping DM bombs at the most inopportune moments.
That's the one. That's the one. So how are you today, Stuart? You good?
I'm really good. I've had the day off work, been chilling out, been basking in the quietness that has been London post it not coming home, which seems to have devastated the capital. But yeah, other than that, all really good.
And that was fantastic. So I want to find out what or whom you are playing today.
I will be playing a halfling fighter by the name of Loretta Albright. I imagine that she's going to be perhaps a tad feisty, and also, I mean, I don't really want to get too much into the whole kind of indoctrination into the kind of system that they're in, but yeah, I imagine that she's all in.
Okay, so Albright. Why do I recognise Albright? Have you had other characters of Albright? Am I making that up?
I don't think I have, but I think I plucked it from somewhere because it just came when I was I literally just wrote down the first name and the surname just came immediately after. Okay. So something subconscious is there, I'm sure.
Okay, because I couldn't figure it out. I was like, is there more Albrights? I've seen that name before, and I didn't know if it was one of your legacy dynasty things that you do.
You're making me paranoid now because I do like to link things up, and maybe I'll that without realizing.
Nice. And so you're a Battlemaster fighter, is that correct?
Yes.
Great.
So I'm trying to remember all the kind of different quirks that they bring to the combat and how I can hopefully annoy you.
Yep.
The best possible way.
Sabotage.
Well, it's lovely to see you, and I'm so glad that you come and join us for the Arcane Ward.
Pleasure.
Let's see what Loretta can do. Okay, so another one that we've had in on a boat. They've been in an arena. They are a champion, a pure champion, and we know this for a fact. So I wanted to say welcome back to Rowan. Lovely to have you again. I think it's not week 2. Is it week 2? No, it's not week 2. Is it not a week after we saw you last week? Was it last week?
2 in a row.
I think so. I think you saw me last week.
Yes. So it's so good to have you
can't
back.
Keep me away.
I know, but it's so good to have you here once again. And so how have you been today? You've been enjoying yourself today?
Yeah, good. I had loads to do, but then it was one of those days where I managed to get it done, but literally in the last 2 hours, because I just spent the rest of the day lying in bed eating pizza in my pants. Strong work.
Strong. I wonder, is there a link here with like your character that you're playing? Just sort of see that kind of work ethic of your character.
Yes, similar, kind of like short bursts is how Nora's going to do things. She's a gnome rogue, so the Nora is spelt with a silent G. That's important. Just to keep in mind, obviously don't say it, but it's key. It's key to the character. And she's going to be a lot of fun, and she loves snacks as well. Okay. So I've already a strong affinity.
Fantastic. And of course you're a gnome thief rogue. Okay, so I'm seeing some short here. There's lots of heightness going on. We've got a halfling, we've got a gnome. Okay, just got to make sure I keep that in mind. No high light switches, Joe. Just always remember that. But you're really interested to see how Nora kind of kicks off in this place as well. Just like it's great to have a thief. And I would also want to say, largely we've got kind of all old school subclasses going on, apart from one. But we've got some really old schools, and I'm really, really happy to see a battle master and a thief. It makes me very happy indeed. And moving on to someone that we've seen on the chat. Love their presence on the chat during me being destroyed by players and in the arena for TPK. But it's so good to have Melissa Woodward here. How you doing? Yeah, so good morning.
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it is 11 a.m. where I am.
Oh,
so
wicked.
It's going great.
So how was your morning
you just
so
done
far?
drink one,
Drink
right?
one, yep.
I'm
Drink one.
coffee number 2, but yeah.
So I'm hoping that your morning has been fruitful. I don't know if you've had a good morning so far.
Yeah. I woke up like 2 hours ago. It's been a great morning. Yeah.
And tell us about who you're playing today.
Yeah, I'm playing Clove. She's a halfling Circle of the Land druid, and just kind of a casual fisherwoman who maybe got wrapped up into some things that she may or may not be ready for, but I think it's very exciting.
Okay, so again, halfling. Okay, here we go. So I'm hoping. Let's see if I can figure out what the next one's going to be. Oh no, that's going to be incredibly tall. And of course, back in the corner, as they're always their usual spot in the corner or sabotage the DM, Mr. Dan Berman. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I've decided not to face the wall and think about what I've done today, but just I am going to stay in my corner and stay very much sort of in my lane. I'm doing a lawful good, Joe.
I know.
I'm doing a lawful good. I don't know what's gonna. I think maybe I'm gonna have to go and cause some chaos out on my street after this is finished because I'll just be too.
And we all know that the lawful good is the most evil of all character types. So. We shall see what happens. So who or whom are you playing today?
So I am playing Illustrious Montgomery, the Furbolg Twilight Cleric. You guys have all gone short, and I've gone super tall. You guys have all gone with old school traditional subclasses, and I've gone with Tashas. Right. Twilight is something that it's sort of a character that I sort of played with creating a sheet for a little while, so it's going to be nice to sort of get them out and get them playing and see what happens. Really
lovely. And of course it'd be good because just so we are on the same page and everybody at home is on the same page as well, you are a speaker as well, aren't you? You're a speaker.
I am a speaker.
Yeah. Okay, good. That'll make more sense when we get into the world. So we are going to be playing in a lovely homebrew world that we kind of thrown together in the last second. So there's going to be plenty of holes in there, lots of inconsistencies, and I think the word canon should be shouted whenever we go off canon or onto canon or make new cannons. But before we do that, I wanted to just quickly kind of share with you guys, I'll share with everybody, my apologies, that we are doing a few things this week. It is this week, isn't it? 18th. Is the 18th this week?
Yeah, end of this week and then starting next week.
Great. So on the 18th, we've got to go over to Zach's Big Wave channel for our monthly Rebel DMs chat show, which I'm really looking forward to. So that will be with, of course, the wonderful DM Philly, Josh Allison, Fizzle Keynes, Zach's Big Wave and myself, and we're going to be chatting away all things subjects to do with D&D and nerding out and all that kind of jazz. So that'd be great if you come and see us. And then those same players, the rebel DMs themselves, will be coming up on the Friday, and I'm going to show you a small video to see what they might be fighting on that particular total party knockout. So we can pop that on now, and we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Oh.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, fighting an astral dreadnought, are we? So I'll be super excited to see how the Rebel DMs. It's the shiny crab, yes.
Shiny! Yes!
I can't wait to see how the Rebel DMs come up against the Astral Dreadnought. I'm terrified. I think my main drive is to kill DM Philly as quickly as possible. Is literally that's the drive for all of
That's
this.
what I told Joe before we went on, that should be goal one. So,
I'm just getting my coach staff in. You know, I've got a big coaching staff, and you know, Melissa's come in. Really been wonderful talking about the strategy.
I am so excited about this. Like watching a group of DMs do total party knockout is like it's good. I was saying before, it's going to be like the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon version of TPK. All of the stats, and I've seen the preamble and the pre-chat that's been going on in the Rebel DMs Discord, and it's like just watching the Matrix Code, just seeing the depth of what you guys go into when you talk about your stuff. It's like, I'm so excited for this one.
And then they get there and they can't do any of it.
Joe's gonna sabotage.
But yeah, I think actually Stuart and I think Stuart has a fantastic version of TPK when they fought the Demagogue against Josh. How many rounds was it, Stuart?
If I remember rightly, I think it was 2, possibly 3. He made the mistake of allowing 2 Holy Avengers on the field.
So I think you did, like, you stacked up, what was it, 100 and 150 hit points at one point.
And then Josh turned to us and goes, yeah, like, how would you like to do this kind of thing? And I just turned around and went, well, I would like to action surge on top of it just for flair. It's like that scene in The Simpsons where he's like punching the guy. It's like he's already dead.
So that's going to be fun to sort of see how we get about it. Actually, Shark Gotch is here. Actually, how you doing, Shark Gotch? I'm really glad that you're here with us. But again, it's that moment of can and will these other DMs destroy me? I think they will. But I want to kill DM Philly, and I'll be happy if I do that. That's me. That's my sports chat here. Sabotage DM. Sports. Okay. So we got rid of all that. So that's great. So then I'm going to go in and talk about this new world that we're at. So I'm just going to bring you guys over to the play screen so we can have a look at the map. And then I'm going to go do a quick history. Intros in, and then we're going to get playing. So I hope you guys enjoy. All right. So here is the Empire of Mundanith Empire, with Danith being the capital, and of course you can see it's strategically quite well penned in, I would say. But the 200 years ago, the last ruler was a ruler called King Polaar, who was an enchanter who enslaved the population mainly for their own entertainment, but also to kind of take away their free will and to have absolute total control over its people. And eventually the people rose up, led by the general of the army, General Tukle, and a mage called Mage Dani. And they rose up and took over and dethroned the evil king. However, during the celebrations, General Tukle essentially betrayed our wonderful Mage Dani and killed them, taking the throne and placing a decree across the lands that all arcane magic was the reason that the king itself had turned evil, not necessarily that the king was evil, and that the land should be rid of all arcane magic. Of course, the temples very much enjoyed this and joined in to help with this, what they called a crusade to clear the lands. Also, the people themselves sold into the celebration of this and brought the idea that somebody was to blame for their hardship. And of course, the personal guard of General Tukle, known as the Black Bottle, began a reign of terror across the land, snatching people from their homes, from bars, or off the street in broad daylight, never to be seen again. However, a small group who were once the personal guard of Mage Dani, called themselves the Farlights, were scattered across the Empire, recognizing their defeat, and began a campaign to undermine the Empire, slowly but surely, with the main aim to protect and hide those with arcane power. These Farlights have been spread into every single level of society and are always there, hidden in plain sight. Their cells are often individuals. It's very rare for them to be brought together. So, something that has been noted, particularly with inside the Farlights, is that the Black Bottle have changed their tactics of recent and are currently placing their most of their resources into searching children with arcane power. So I think we're going to start there. So we come into what we see is sorry, this is the wrong music for me. There we go, great. We see a bowl of porridge. A spoon goes in. As it comes up, we see a mouth. As this child puts it across its cheek and into its mouth. As they look up towards their family, their two mothers sat at the table, laughing and giggling away. Today it's good porridge. Suddenly there's a knock on the door. And one of the mothers stands, walks to the door, goes to unlatch it. And as they unlatch the door bursts open as 5 guards march their way in. The parents, terrified and confused, go to search for their papers, proof of citizenship. However, they point at the child. The child stands there, arm up, spoon in hand, with a mark of a star on their wrist. The mother jumps towards the child and the guards push her away as she falls and hits her head onto the table. The other grabs a knife from the table and goes to jump at a guard and manages to stick the knife under the ribs. As we move towards the child's face, we see in the reflections of their eyes the violence that ensues around them. We see their heaving breaths. As they turn, we see in the reflection the soldiers suddenly stop and look towards the child. As we move away, we see the blue sparks of energy building around them. We go straight outside to cut to a speaker, an old priest walking across the street. As he hears his scream, he turns and looks over at the house. There's a moment of absolute pure silence. As every speck of dust, every leaf in the air stays still. And suddenly, kaboom! And the explosion occurs, taking out 4 different houses along the street. He's pushed backwards and lands onto his back. Immediately getting up, he runs towards what he sees of the explosion, to find a child knelt on the ground, and seemingly being the epicenter of that explosion. He picks the child up and runs. So all of you have been contacted in different ways. You've been asked to go through to what the pub known as the Poor Flower. The sign is simple. It's a very wilted flower that's on the wooden board. And you know that you'll be meeting somebody there. looking for the normal symbol, sign of this month's sign, at least, of the secret meeting. So I think we have Nora. You're kind of walking down the street. The street feels quiet. I mean, it always feels quiet around 8 o'clock. I mean, you're only 2 hours away from curfew. As you make your way through the streets, you see a couple of guards sort of walking up the street, the opposite side of you, as you begin to walk towards them, walking down the same street. And sorry, Carrie.
Go.
No, I want you to go. No, you go.
We see a small gnome with a massive amount of matted, thick, dark hair. Her eyes widen a little bit as she sees the guards heading her way, and she just ducks slightly into the shadows on the other side of the street and skulks past, looking in the direction of the poor flower and for the sign that she knows to be aware of.
So you see, from as you sort of stood in the shadow of an alleyway, you see the guards kind of walk past. And once they're kind of further enough away, you turn and slip down the road, straight into the pub itself. As we see another halfling, their feet they're stood in a puddle, and their bare toes are sort of wiggling in the mud of the puddle. And they're sort of like just cooling down slightly before they kind of head off. And I think you kind of make your way around, and you sort of see the same guards doing their rounds. And we see. Would you like to describe what Clove looks like for us, please?
Sure. I think Clove is dressed pretty plainly, kind of a blue top and kind of very loose fitting pants, and she's got her kind of staff that she walks with, but she's kind of clutching it in both hands as she's like looking around at this city space that she's not really totally comfortable in, but she's kind of, splashes a bit in the puddle as she like looks around really wide-eyed at everything before she kind of spots the pub where she's supposed to go to, and she's kind of makes her way there, still like really really nervous about being where she is.
I can imagine they get into the door and be like,
yeah,
kind of making their way in as that kind of light spills out into the street, and then it's closed again as the door shuts. As we go through to another halfling, you're coming from a different direction. However, you see a very similar set of guards as you kind of walk. In fact, you walk a corner, and there they are. And I think, without even almost like muscle memory, you put your hand into your cloak, and you pull out your citizenship papers, and the guards sort of take them. And put it back. Go on, bugger off.
Sure thing. Continue walking on, make my way to the pub.
And what does Loretta look like?
Loretta's short again, standing in I think just a smidge over 3 foot, oversized baggy shirt, which is kind of brought in with a kind of deep kind of olive waistcoat, which is tied around the waist with a green kind of piece of fabric. Hair down to kind of shoulder length, quite dark, quite broad, face as well, with a couple of weapons bestowed upon her, but like hidden enough that they aren't kind of too showy. She kind of just bounds in.
So bounds straight in. And then we see a very large metal-cladded foot land onto the cobblestone. And the sort of like the camera goes up, and then goes up, and then goes up, and then goes up, and then goes up until we see the face of this Furbolg of illustrious Montgomery.
Yeah, and we see Illustrious striding confidently through the street. No one suspects the speakers. Speakers? Is that right?
Yeah, speaker.
Yeah, no one suspects the speakers. Sort of carves his way through the center. He's dressed head to toe in a kind of a caramel-colored armor with embellishments around that almost look like they're mahogany wood. They're sort of like beautifully gilded to look like knotted wood. His cloak is like a sea blue with a green trim along the bottom, and we almost like see like a tracking shot as he walks in between buildings. You see him pass one, then the other, and then we don't see Illustrious anymore. We see a very simple, simply dressed, unassuming elf who continues to make their way to the pub.
So we cut through into the pub itself, and before you've arrived, there's been somebody sat at a table in the corner. The barkeep is getting very annoyed with this person, because every time he kind of pops over, he keeps having to relight their candle constantly. And he's not really sure why. As a barkeep, they're used to keeping an eye out for things that are unusual, but he's kind of had a look and seen that the window's open and thinks, oh, that's why, and goes over and shuts the window. And as he gets kind of closer to this person, he sees that there's this tiefling sort of sat in the corner, the candle's out, and he goes over to light it again, and the tiefling said, no, don't worry, it's clearly not a good spot for a candle. There's plenty of light. And the barkeep's like, all right, cool. Well, give us a shout if you want some more light. And he pops off as he goes around. As we see each of you kind of make your way in. So I think it was Nora came in first. Mm-hmm. The Poor Flower is, as the name suggests, a very shabby-looking pub. But it's home to those who go there daily. And it is definitely their pub. In the corner, you see that there's this like quite large looking, it almost looks like a troll. It's clearly now too big to get out of the door, so it kind of lives here now, drinking away and often plays a hurdy-gurdy and sort of entertains the people every now and then. As you see that human who's at the bar top, as you kind of look around the space, you see the number of people on different tables. They're all sort of chatting, but it seems as if everyone sort of talks like this when they're chatting. You do notice there's another group. Actually, giving you a perception check. Let's do a first roll. Let's have a look. Let's do a first roll.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Boy.
Let's have a look. I hope we can get 19. No, 19. Sorry, it hasn't come up on here, but it will do shortly. 19. Okay. So you see there is two people that are sat at a table, and you can see by the way they pick up their glasses that the glasses are empty, but they're continuing to put on the charade of drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see in the corner this snuffed out candle.
Is there another table or anything by the snuffed out candle tiefling?
I think most tables are full. I think you could find one. If you wanted one, you could have one.
Yeah, I think Nora's gonna she's gonna walk by the bar and then do her usual like leap into the air and go like, all right.
Right.
All right, how's it going? Good night.
And just sort of watching you jump up every now and then. And
yeah. No luck with those smaller stools then, is it? No?
And he leans over. Oh, 1 sec. Mary! And he sort of shouts out. And he goes like, what? So, get the tiny stools! And he's like, and she kind of comes back with like smaller chairs. For you.
Awesome.
Kind of pops them around the table.
That's great.
Next to the guy that's next to the guy with the snuffed out candle.
That's awesome. Great. Thanks, mate. I didn't know if you'd be able to get him in. This is well exciting. But thank you. I'll get a drink in a bit, yeah?
Just give us a shout.
So she'll like turn to the tiefling and go like, your candle's out.
And kind of looks up. I have enough light.
She nods and she'll sit back and just have a casual look around, kicking her little feet.
As tentatively Clove comes in and the whole place goes a bit quiet. Yeah, literally, we just hear something go crash on the floor as it kind of goes a bit quiet. As this clearly out of towner has sort of arrived. And everyone sort of stops and kind of looks at you.
I think that is Clove's worst nightmare. She walks in and just kind of freezes in the doorway. I think she'd been hoping to be kind of subtle about it and not draw any attention to the fact that she doesn't know where she's going or what she's supposed to be doing. And so she's going to kind of just like throw a hand up of like, and then offer like kind of this weird wave and then head over to the bar.
Literally, as you wave, everyone's like, ooh, they'll turn and carry on talking. The barkeep, however, outsider.
Yeah, so I'm assuming the bar is much too tall.
Yeah. Yep.
So she's like, yeah. Can I get a drink?
What do you want,
Right.
outsider?
What you got? Anything's, I don't know. It's fine.
You like ale?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
He grabs an ale and just like dumps it down.
She's gonna like stand on her tippy toes and like drop a coin and try to like reach up and grab
so,
it.
like, as you drop it over, it like spins slightly and he sort of stops it. What's your reason to come into town, outsider?
Just, hanging out. Thought I'd try to see something other than, the shore. I don't know.
The tourist. Should be
Yeah.
careful, tourists. It's only 2 hours till curfew.
Okay. What happens after curfew?
No one's on the streets, of course.
Okay. I'll thank you. I'll do that.
And you kind of like take your pint with 2 hands. I think, Nora, you see those 2 that were without the cups, with the cups that were empty, sort of have a particular interest in this halfling that's walked in.
Cool.
And I think, Clove, you look around and you see the stuffed out candle in the corner.
Yeah. I think she's gonna try to like what she thinks is sneaky, but like might not actually be that sneaky, but she's gonna like take a drink and then she's gonna try to like take the long way around to the table to like, pretend like that's not where she's going. But
man, should we do a performance test check on that just to see see how good it is? I love a performance check. I love a performance check.
with a charisma of 0.
Yeah.
Oh yes, here we go.
Oh, 19.
No, 19.
There
All right. So you kind of as you walk around. Actually, what you managed to do is to make it look as if you were trying to join a table. So you go like kind of and then and you do a pretty good job of making it. Obviously, now the whole bar knows that you're a tourist.
Right.
But now they've seen your face and they feel a lot more comfortable around you. And finally, you kind of come round to where the candle is, and you see that there's a table with small chairs on it, with this other this gnome sort of sitting there, and then you see the table with the snuffed out candle and the tiefling.
Okay. I think she's gonna take whatever chair is like in view of the snuffed out candle table, but is still at the short chair because that's probably meant for her. And she's gonna kind of like look at Nora and be like, "Hi."
Hey, we got these small seats. I've been asking him for ages, and he's got them in now. So you're welcome.
Yeah, you okay if I don't think I can sit at any of the other chairs. So
yeah, no, absolutely. Our candle doesn't work though.
Oh yeah, yeah, cool.
Just see Nora's eyes go like.
Be cool.
Yeah, cool.
And as you say that, this door like slams open, and then in walks his 3.5 foot halfling.
Bound up, and like, are there any of the other small chairs still knocking around?
I think they're all around that one table.
Perfect. I was going to take.
There's four of them, so I think there's now 2 left, 2 small chairs. As you come in, the bar staff is like, the barber's like, gets another smaller person sort of comes in.
I'll look around to see what kind of like availability is and stuff, and start casing the joint a bit, and then go over, see that there are small chairs over towards that table, and then notice the snuffed candle, but then notice that there are people around, and don't normally deal with groups, so I'm gonna go over to one of the tall stools that I imagine are by the bar, and just climb up to it, and just sit down, and just sit there, and just kind of just look around, and start casing the joint, specifically looking for the black bottle if they're knocking around, or anyone that might just have a bit more of an interest in that table as well as me.
All right, so let's do a perception check, and then if you get a high enough, we'll do some insight and see if we can figure out.
-1.
Oh, we got 10. Okay, so I think you, generally speaking, it looks busy. Generally speaking, the tables all look very private, which is completely normal in these times. Most people don't really want to be speaking loudly anymore. So you're kind of used to seeing people be very quiet. There's nobody. The problem is that you know that the black bottle will be able to blend in anywhere.
Yeah.
So you take the assumption that they are there. They are there.
Shit. Can I get a drink?
Yeah. What do you want? Do you want an ale? We got ale, or we got ale? It's up to you.
Christ, quite an exhaustive menu. I think I'll take an ale.
It's up. What you want? And you pop, sit down.
Cheers. Thanks very much. I'm going to drink it for a while and just every now and then just keep peering over with an eye over to them.
So I'm guessing that whenever the barkeep kind of looks at you, you're giving off that air of don't talk to me, I'm at the bar for a reason.
Yeah.
Really lovely. And then finally, the door opens and the bar staff's like, here comes another shit. As this elf kind of walks in. Sort of 6'1" elf, I reckon. However, they look as if they still seem to bow under for some reason, and then come on.
So I've managed to pull a little bit off my height because furbolg magic. So I'm a tall elf, but not quite furbolgy. I've pulled up my hood and sort of adopted a very sort of nervous, sort of hands together, ringing kind of posture, and just sort of sidle up to sort of like the nearest table, which I presume is where Clove and Nora are, and just say, have you got any food? I'm ever so hungry. I've only got this little scrap of bread left. Has anyone got any scraps of food?
Oh, bloody hell. And you kind of see the barman sort of throws down in their towel and starts coming round the side of the bar.
I think Clove is gonna like whip out some fish jerky and be like, Just like wordlessly throws it up, and it smells real bad, but it's food.
Thank you ever so much. Your candle's gone out and everything. You must be very dark in here. Sorry, barkeep. I mean, no
Right,
harm.
come on, you. You get no begging in here.
I've just got the food now. I'll sit here and be quiet. I promise. I just need a place to stay warm.
Look, if you're not drinking, you can't sit down. All right.
Okay. It sort of reaches in and like pulls out like 3 little like gnarled bits of copper, and it's like, is this enough?
Shit. Yes. Takes it. It comes back with an ale for you, as you sort of.
Thank you ever so much. And he just sort of like scuttles into the corner, trying to like keep himself small, and like very nervously like eats his fish jerky and like graciously drinks a bit of the ale. But it's just sort of like darting eyes around every so often, but just keeping up this very sort of like nervous and small demeanor.
I think as you see that, suddenly there's like a little flash of light as the match is sort of lit, as the tiefling lights their own candle. And then goes over, takes a pint, and sits down at your table. The candle's gone out.
Oh, yes, it is. Do you possibly have a light where you could share with me? We like to share the light where I'm from.
Exactly. I feel like we're expecting one more. As he looks around at the table, he sat on one of the small ones, so his legs are up here.
Just dangling and kind of looking around. When I see the kind of candle get lit and then kind of snuffed again, and then just crawl back down, leaving this giant drink at the bar, and go, oh, you need a piss. I begin making my way across, and then just kind of lean over and go, candles out.
So, oh, we like to share the light. Well, we like to share the light where we're from.
It tends to illuminate everything in darkness, doesn't it?
1 second. Barkeep, did you light this candle for us? It's like, fucking hell. And he lights the candle as it's like, thump. Goes, can I get, what, 5 more beers? Ales, isn't it? That's what you've got. Ales. Yeah, 5 more ales, please. It's like, fine. And he goes back to the bar. Okay, I know we don't usually meet like this. I don't want to know your names, because I'm never going to see you again after this. We got contacted from one of the speakers from the Temple of Light. We have no idea what they're worried about. We have no idea what they want. However, it's highly unusual for them to ask for 4 agents. I'd like you to go over. Oh, yes, of course. Thank you very much, barkeep. Thank you. I mean, it's so good to have good new friends. I mean, I didn't know you had such great clientele here. And it's just like, yeah, they're great, aren't they? And he kind of pops it down. Well, sir, that's 15 copper, please. It's like, there you are. Thanks, son.
I can only have 1. I 2 is too many.
Oh, and he takes the other pint and sort of tops up everybody else's. Or he tops them up and leaves 1 pint left with one of the empty chairs. I know that we're expecting another, but I mean, if they're not here in the next minute or so, I'm going to have to move on without them. As the doors open from the toilet.
Make my way back and then just sit back down by their table. Go, see the candle got relit. Lovely. Care for another one to join you?
I put their hand out towards the table, towards the chair.
Take a seat. Prefer lower seats anyway.
So, as I was saying, I need you to go to the temple. There's a seeker there, Seeker Halu. One of ours. and just look for the normal symbol. As far as that, I have no idea. And some of you have been here a long time, and some of you have only just started, but you're the 4 that we could get. Now, we need you to be careful. You know, the Black Bottle are looking and watching at all times. They're probably watching us now. Any questions?
No.
Good. Now, if you excuse me, and he sort of leans back on the chair. I have to get back. You know what it's like, markets in the morning.
Oh, yeah, it's an early start.
And sort of downs their pint and kind of walks past and goes towards you, Illustrious, and sort of like hands you a silver piece. And it's like, get yourself somewhere warm tonight.
Thank you. May the light fall on you.
And he kind of looks at you like he's confused and walks off. Leaving the 4 of you sort of sat there. 3 of you are holding your pints like this. One and the elf that's sat there is sort of drinking through. I think any one of you do a perception check for me. 17, great.
Ooh, nice.
So Nora, you notice that they're the weirdest looking elf you think you've ever seen. And you're fairly sure that elves should be that tall, and also elves are supposed to be like slender and like elegant, and this one seems to be slightly stompy and clumsy.
I'm gonna like scoot my little seat in that direction, regardless of how far away it is. I'm just gonna scoot the whole way. You're a really big elf, eh?
Yeah. You're the first person to tell me that. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah. It makes me really good for certain things, you know, like grabbing things on tool shelves and stuff.
Normal seats.
Yeah.
Are you still hungry?
Very hungry, yeah.
She like reaches into the inner of her shirt and like roots around in a pocket up here, and it's just like, no. Roots around down here, and it's like, no. Like roots around and gets together like, you know, you take the inside out of a baguette and squeeze it into a clump. She's got one of those. She like offers up to you.
And I'm imagining like two Illustrious is like a ball bearing.
Covered in pocket fluff.
And I think, are we safe? Are we sort of fairly sure that we're fairly safe in this bar?
I think you always have a feeling. I mean, you yourself, you haven't had a proper look around, so well, perception. I feel like perception is going to be our like main thing for like
just
absolute
constantly
paranoia.
shiftily looking side to side. 9.
Yeah, safe as houses. This is absolutely safe. However, for you, you're also that general knowledge, of course, of they could be anywhere. So it may look safe, but your sort of common sense kind of kicks through that of like they could be anywhere.
So I take the I take it from Nora. So that's very kind of you. Kindness really is everything these days, I've found. And he just like pops it in his mouth and like chews really heartily, takes wheat on wheat.
And I think when they lean back like this, Nora, you notice there's like they're wearing something here. And you just see the top of some sort of symbol. As it kind of like the shirt, it goes back down into the clothing.
I think Nora says, "So what brought you in here, then?"
I came for the candle.
Right.
I may appear from simple means, but you never know where you're going to find the light, do you?
Yeah, I suppose not. Something in this like makes Nora shut down a little bit, and she's gonna back away and return to sort of the group more thoroughly. And she's gonna lean in and go like, "Right now, no one look, and especially not you. Sorry, druid, wet, damp lady, because you've seen the type. There is a table pretending to have a drink, so I think we would be best placed to look like we're going our separate ways." And she'll put her drink down on the table with a crummy hand and go, "Well, it was lovely meeting you all. Hopefully our paths will cross again." And she'll waddle her way out. And she'll jump up and wave at the barman on her way.
I love the barman. Can the barman come with?
There's obviously just a few people sort of like kind of watch you go, and they just get back to their conversations. Do any of you look over at the table that she was talking about? I can see, like, I'm tempted to do a wisdom saving throw with Clove to see if the curiosity kicks in.
Yeah, like I'm down with that.
All right, let's do a wisdom save. See.
Okay, yeah. 16.
It's like you're tapping on the table, tapping on the table, and you're like, oh. and then you're back.
Yeah. I think she's like, but she's very much not looking at that table, right? Like she's just looking everywhere except that table.
Just literally like looking across their nose over the table.
Yeah.
So now we have the two halflings sat at the table, and the elf. I think you're just off the side. That was kind of all right. You are at the table as well.
I came to the table for the meeting, but I took the cue from the gnome and sort of without really saying much, just sort of finished up the drink, cleared up any like loose tankards or anything, and like put it back to the bar and say thank you very much for your shelter and go in the direction of the temple.
And there's literally just sort of shakes his head as you leave.
Yeah.
And there's a few people that do that. It's sort of like, I can't believe he's let them in. It's disgusting. That kind of like chat that's kind of going around. As you kind of make your way outside, leaving the two halflings.
I kind of sit there for a moment in a bit of awkward silence and just go, guess that's my cue to leave. nice meeting you. And I kind of just scooch back, wood against wood, because scratching against it.
Everyone just looks at you from the bar.
Make an obvious kind of gesture towards the door, and as I go, I'm just going to look up to the barman and just go, out of towners, fucking weird. And then make my way out.
And we just kind of see these dirty toes sort of swinging on the chair underneath, sort of kicking away. Excuse me. Kicking away as you're the last one left. As you see, like, the barman comes over, starts clearing glasses to clear, like, I want this table back now, please.
Okay, yeah, and Plove is like very slowly counting in her head, like forcing herself to sit there for like 10 seconds is about as long as she can handle being okay. And she's gonna like get up and like very quickly like offer little waves as if anyone that looks at her as she like tries to leave inconspicuously, but not really that inconspicuously.
Great, as you all going to go out into the street itself. Now, the streets of Danith, one thing you do notice, of course, is that, there is not a lot of sort of homelessness as such out. There's not a lot of people out generally. The streets are very quiet. Now being, an hour until curfew, the city tends to be busiest in the sunshine. Under the stars, it's a more terrifying place. I think between you all get stopped, unless you decide to hide, of course, Nora. It's already of you, but you all get stopped a number of times. I'd say about 4 or 5 times on your way to towards the temple. Montgomery, do you stay in elf form the whole way, or do you change back?
I stay in elf form the whole time.
Yeah, cool. You get particularly in a lot more trouble. In fact, you have all. How much gold have you got on you?
I have 15 gold.
Yeah, you've got none. As the guards rough you up and take out every single piece of gold you have, and they keep threatening that if you can't pay the next person who sees you and you can't pay them, they will throw you in the stocks for the night. But it's literally every time you go around the corner, you see a guard, you kind of try to hide yourself away now, as they take everything from you. They called it a tax, homelessness tax. As you make your way through, it takes you, all of you sort of wind your way through the city in different ways. As you come up towards the temple, there's the Temple of Light. Towards the South District, it doesn't have the prestige of the other temples, especially the larger cathedrals that sit in the center of town. Although the Temple of Light is also known as the most famous as a healer's temple, a place for those to go and be healed, and those who are sick to be healed. And I think most of you, apart from Clove, because I think most of you are from or has spent some time in the city, know the name, which is go back to my notes, which is Grand Speaker Guthrie, who is quite a famous sort of healer and sort of community. A member of the community for the Temple of Light. If it could be such a thing as an abbot, then that probably what they would sit at. As you kind of walk your way through, you see that there's a small snuffed candle on the second step of the temple itself. The moonlight kind of pushes through and gives everything that kind of slightly silvered, sort of light blue glow. As you see that simple candlestick holder and the candle kind of going up, and it's clear it's been out for a good hour or so. It's not smoking or anything, it's out, and it sits there. And I think the 4 of you sort of converge almost at the same time, and you kind of I think one of you goes past and lights the candle on your way out, on your way up towards this very large sort of oak door. Just one of you go up and sit up.
Do it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and the door kind of creaks open slightly. That's a look. Come in. Opens it up.
Gesture.
And it sort of opens it up just enough for you all to get through, so it doesn't kind of fully open the doors. Closes them behind you. And you see what looks like sort of a more middle-aged sort of human. He looks at you and says, I'm sorry, my candle was out.
We noticed, that's why we stopped by.
Okay. I'm Speaker Halu. I've asked for you to come here. Please. And sort of ushers you through the temple, and you see that the temple is largely made up of like stone beds, and you can hear like the coughing in the distance of somebody there's a couple of like beams of light that you can see are being formed by some of the priests that are kind of being placed on different people as they begin sort of like their more divine healing magic. And I think, Illustrious, as you walk in, I think you instantly have to do, you almost muscle memory again, you do a gesture. You describe what it is that you do as you come in.
He takes sort of 3 fingers and a thumb, like they're very straight, and almost as if closing someone's eyes. Just start to bring them down, and as you see this, there's almost like a wipe, like a firefly wipe, as you sort of as you see this elf start to grow, the robes fizzle away, the armor start to bulge, and then you sort of see every bit an armored firbolg cleric there as he starts to bless the sick and the wounded as they pass.
And sort of Halu turns, oh, speaker. Of course. And he sort of giggles to themselves. As you kind of walk your way through, if you've now got this ginormous firbolg, so with you guys.
As we're sort of doing a walk and talk, I turn to the 3 and I say, you must forgive me for my deception. I didn't know who I was traveling with, and I wanted to know who was the kindest amongst you first. Forgive me.
Nora says nothing.
Clove's mind is very much blown, and she's just like staring very wide-eyed and very high.
You managed to clock that from sharing a drink with us?
It's very interesting who likes to give in the time of need. 2 of you did. 1 of you did not.
Guess I need to stock up on bread nuggets then, shall I?
Or fish jerky. I have more. Do you need more?
And then you pull it out, and then somebody just goes, and sort of throws up in the corners. The smell just sort of kicks into the temple.
That is very kind of you, but I am well fed thanks to the 2 of y'all.
As you kind of
That seems unlikely, but okay.
And you see Father Halu, and he's just like, okay, please come with me, it's urgent.
Sure thing.
And it kind of goes into the back priory. Is that the right word? Is it priory? I think that sounds right. Cannon.
Cannon now.
You say cannon? No, it's cannon. All right, okay, it's cannon. And inside,
where there's a cannon.
Inside, you see a face that most of you recognise, which is Grand. I can't believe I put this name together. I can't fucking say it. Grand Speaker Guthrie. She sort of sits there. She's a dwarf, huge, kind of big white beard. And she sits there, and all you can hear is her go, "All right, Cheddar, do you want a sweetie?" And you kind of look up, and you see that she's got a small child sat on her lap. "Go on, you have another bit of sweetie. Go on." And that sort of kid kind of puts her hand out. He's sort of big, wide-eyed. As you see, as the hand kind of comes over, this sort of like star birthmark that's on their wrist. And see, they've got like sugar all over their faces. "That's it, good old Cheddar. Keep eating your sweeties." And look up. And you see those kind of like pink red eyes. "Oh, looks like we got some friends here, doesn't it?" She kind of looks up. "I appear as if my candle's gone out."
We've got enough light to share.
"Come and share it then." And she sort of like comes over. "And you want a sweetie?"
Oh my god, I would love one.
She kind of hands out. It's almost like because I use Turkish delight. Why not? It's sort of other references. Yeah. So it's like dust sugar, like sugar, dusted sugar everywhere. And you see that all the way down Grand Speaker Guthrie. You see that there's just like this dots of that white sugar, like caster sugar. And that kid is just covered.
Nice.
We don't have very long. So hang on, let me go. All right. We don't have very long. Any minute, the black bottle will make their way in. Usually we hide them. Pop them in the basements, in the wardrobes. This one.
He seems hungry.
It's all them sweeties.
Can control themselves. And you all find that unusual. Even you, Clove. I think I think your level is sort of like you've hidden somebody in a haystack, I think, is that like, and they were out of control with their magic. But you managed to sort of hide them. I think you've all seen different arcane users that you've helped hide. And they tend to be a bit more out of control with how they can kind of control their own magic. This kid looks sad. But there's some sort of feeling of safety. And you feel positive kind of around them. Oh, this is Chuna. And yeah. And she sort of wakes down and smiles, and he's got like half like black teeth, too many sweets. And this kid sort of looks up. So they don't speak much, but they're special. And yeah. He puts his hand up. I put their hand up, sorry. And it's just like this like ball of light begins to kind of grow in their hands. And he like turns it and twists it as it changes into a tiny little frog that bounces in the air. And then he grabs it, opens his hand, and it's a Turkish delight. And eats it.
Nora claps.
We need to get this. We need to get this little star out of this dark place.
Yeah, we do.
Not just out of the sea. Need to get him across the border. So this.
You're joking, right?
And it's like she's completely stone-faced. 400 mile. Get him over the border. Get him to somewhere where the black ball can never, ever get their hands on him. Because this is our Chuna. And yeah. Now, coming up the curfew, would be better if we could move, maybe in the cover of the light. That would be better. As soon as they close that gate, we're going to have real trouble getting you lot out. Suddenly, you hear a commotion. And the Grand Speaker looks up, takes the child off their knee. You stay here, Chigger. Kind of see that. He kind of points over to Speaker Halu. The more middle-aged kind of. You gotta stay with them for a bit, all right, Chigger? I'll handle this. And he sort of, she gets up. And sort of marches over out of the cannon towards the large doors. As those cannon doors open, Father Halu sort of slams it and says, there is a way out. We've got a back door We could probably make our way out. If that's who I think it is. I think you boom, boom, boom. Open these fucking doors! And you sort of hear it shouting through, and you hear Grand Speaker just sort of, hey, on a minute, I'll be there in a minute. And it's sort of like moving up, and she's taking her time. Open these doors! You can hear the boom, boom, boom. As Father Halley turns to you, and pulls over a rug, and then pulls open a trapdoor. Go now. As he sort of ushers you to go down underneath the temple. As you guys fall down, and as you fall down inside, he grabs hold of the child, holds them in his arms, and closes up behind them. From underneath, you guys sort of have to travel through the front of the temple. As you can hear the commotion upstairs, the smashing up of the beds, the breaking of everything inside the temple. But the sound that scares you most is the sound of a 190-pound dwarf falling as it lands onto the floorboards. You can hear this kind of prayer that's kicking through, and even though you know that she has fallen, there's a sense of hope. As we're going to take a small little break there.
Woo.
Before we kind of carry on into the next part.
Yeah, good. I need a tissue.
Right.
Alrighty. So we're back. I know that we've been a little bit fast on this first part. We're going to have a little bit more time to kind of play around for a little bit now, as we try and find a way to escape this city. I hope that you guys are enjoying it so far.
This is great.
Good,
Loving this story.
Good. We're going to have a small break. We're back in about 5 minutes time, and then we'll come back and continue on with this story. So I hope you guys get yourself a drink, get yourself a cup of tea, get yourself another coffee, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Ah, welcome back, everybody. Oh yeah. None of us are drinking beer today either, which is quite interesting. You're all on the tea, unless Stuart's got something hidden in his teacup.
Rum in a mug.
Oh, it is me on mute. Oh.
You're on mute, babe.
Rum in a mug on mute.
You'll never know.
I realised as well when we did TPK, I realised how like Pavlovian that whole like drink equals crit thing. I was literally just happily doing it there by myself. Like every time there was a crit, I was like, oh yeah, crit.
I was trying so hard not to drink during
with
that
my
one.
water, but all with my water. Like I haven't had an alcoholic drink on this for months.
I love it. The chat is still chatting about points, eh? Racking up those points, keep those points coming. You never know, you might get yourself a deck of many things one day. That could be fun, couldn't it? So I'd like to say, if you saw just now, we had another announcement for TPK. It'd be great if you guys come and join us on the 23rd at 6 p.m. BST to see Rebel DMs. So that's DM Philly, Zach's Big Waves, the Fizzlekins, and Josh Ellison to take on the Astral Dreadnought, which I think would be great. And you can see those same peoples here actually over in Zach's Big Wave channel on Sunday for the Rebel DMs chat as well, where we do a big chat show about all things DMing, which I think should be lovely. People come and join us at 6 p.m. BST as well over at Zach's Big Wave. So maybe I'll put a chat. Can we put a shout out on for Zach's?
Yeah.
Exclamation SO and then at Zach Big Wave. There we go.
Yeah. You got it?
There we go. Lovely. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've just kind of, I'd also like to say, if you are here and you're new to the channel, it'd be great if you could give us a little follow. Hi. But also, if you are really happy being lurking in the background, we're totally happy with that. We hope you enjoy what you're seeing. But it'd be great if you could just give us a little bing. That would be lovely. Thank you very much. All right, Zio. So let's go back into the story then, shall we? Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about before we start? Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's get back in.
Get back in. Cannon. Okay, so you've been sneaking underneath the temple. I think you're kind of hands and kneesing it. Not knees up. Looks like a knees up. Hands and kneesing it sort of through. Who's at the front of the group?
Probably I would have dived in first.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're the ones that are going through. So let's do. I'm gonna say let's do. Hang on, you've got a little feat for streets and stuff, haven't you?
Yes.
Right. I don't think it's going to apply right now, but it will do in a little bit.
Doesn't say anything about tunnels.
No.
Well, actually, it does. It's city secrets.
Oh.
Yeah, so secret patterns and flow to cities, find passages through the urban sprawl. I don't think I would know about this. I don't think she's a temple goer. Okay,
so let's do a kind of thinking a survival check to kind of look for directions and ways out of here. 14. Oh, well done. That's good. That's very good. So you're sort of coming through and you see that there's like a small like opening of light just in front. It's big enough for, I would say, a human to kind of crawl out of.
Okay.
So it's not too small. But what you do see in front of it as you come through, it keeps like flashing with shadow every now and then. Mm-hmm. And as you get closer, you can see that it's the sort of feet of the different guards sort of running around this temple. The noise above you it's definitely, it's just like the sound of feet, the crashing. You can't hear anyone coughing at all, but it sounds as if there's absolute pandemonium above you.
Okay.
But you could also hear a number of the speakers sort of trying to hold them back from the back room, and ultimately that kind of falls silent as you kind of get closer towards towards the hole. So I think, Nora, you kind of like peer out.
Yeah.
So I think let's start with you with the good old fashioned stealth check, because you're pretty good at that. So 16?
16.
Great, perfect. So you kind of like peek out, and you see they're kind of all collecting, and you notice that you're probably sort of like where the main steps are. You were right on the corner at the front of the building.
Outside of it, yeah?
So you go straight out onto the street itself. You can see most of those footprints have been going inside. As you kind of stick your head up, you look up the stairs, and you see that there's one guard or one person sort of stood on the steps, and they're looking out into the street.
Okay. What's around where we are?
I think what you can see is a few shrubs. There's a couple of shrubs as you kind of come out, but largely back onto the street. You can see that there's some alleyways in front of you, and you know this as well. I think all of you would know this. There's only one way in and out of the city, which is the Great Gate.
Mm-hmm.
you know that with curfew coming as well, that gate gets closed.
Yeah.
But I think you know your way there from your city secrets.
Yes. Are we trying to get out now, though, or just to somewhere safe until the morning?
That's up to you.
What's the baby sitch?
I mean, the child is with you, seems calm.
Okay.
But you can see from... Well, I suppose, let me think of somebody else. I think Albright, Loretta, sorry. I think you have been in enough situations like this to know that if they start on a search, they're going to start closing down the city, and they're going to start ripping this whole city apart, trying to find people. And you also know, and I'm going to go with Illustrious, actually, and Clove. Clove, you know this probably more than anybody because of the countryside is worse for it than the city. That people will start turning other people in, and actually by the end of the night there will be 15 to 20 arrests for you. That won't be you. And the city feels extremely unsafe. Illustrious, I think you have this feeling as well. It just doesn't feel safe here.
We gotta move.
Yeah, guys, I think we've got to go. I'm going to... I've got some ball bearings. Yes. I'm going to get a couple of handfuls of those out of my pouch and just do them like a gentle roll across the steps leading out of the church in front of where the guard is. And then I'm going to just make a break for the nearest bush is probably what I will do until I can make sure everyone's out.
Okay. I'm going to do, let me just check the passives on here. I think it should be fine. Are you rolling the ball bearing in order for them to notice it?
No, it's in case I suspect they might notice some of the other people climbing out of the hole. So my aim is that we're going to try and at least like slow them down or trip them up until we can get out of the way.
All right, so let's do a sleight of hand for the ball bearings.
Okay.
Let's have a look. What was that?
7. Sorry, forgot to ask. Can you guys call out your rolls for our listeners rather than our viewers? Is that all right?
That's great. It's another 7.
Yeah, sure.
All right. What you do is that you go to put your hand up and you go flick, and it jumps and goes dunk, 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 and the guard like pulls out their short sword, and is now on. You jumped into the bush, no problem.
Oh, great!
Taking that from your other stealth.
Sweet.
But they're now on guard.
Yeah. It seems like an everyone else problem, though. I'm going to just wait. You just, as I dive away, you hear me go, sorry.
As you hear that, shingery. It's got covered slightly by the shing, and then you guys are like, you can see that this little bush goes and stops. So who would be behind them?
I think I'd be bringing up the rear with the kid.
Yeah, I think Clove is gonna like reach back to Illustrious and cast guidance on Illustrious and be like, "You don't seem very sneaky."
That is very kind of you. I appreciate that.
So was it Clove that was next, or is it? Oh no! If you're reaching back, then it would mean that Loretta was next. Yeah, so Loretta's next. Okay.
So like turn back and like, were you two gonna rush on? Come on, and then make my way up and then out.
Okay.
And then just look around and go, where the f did she go?
You just literally are you just stepping straight up?
Looking out as I do, but like sort of not particularly the kind of stealth motion. I think the worry of them gaining on us is too high, so I'm just gonna like step out.
Okay, as you step out, you're gonna play. Look this way. Turn back. And straight into the eyes of a soldier or a guard as you sort of stand there looking at each other. And there's that brief moment.
Tunnel's clear.
What?
tunnel. It's clear. They ain't getting out.
As he looks at you and tries to look for insignias, looks for anything that they could sort of think. So let's do a deception check as they decide to look across.
-1.
13. All right, I'm going to do a check on here as well. So that'd be with a wisdom.
Oh.
Good. Anybody else in there?
No, it's completely clear, but I think I heard movement around the other side. You want to get around there?
Wait, I need to stay here and guard here.
I'll cover it. It's all good.
Oh. Thanks, man. Was it runs around the other side to try and stop them around the other side as you kind of like stood there like, holy shit, I don't fucking work. Can't believe that fucking work.
You hear a bush breathe a sigh of relief.
Withdraw my blade. What?
Oh.
All right, come on, guys, let's get going.
Okay.
So
I think Clove's gonna like grab the hand of the kid and be like, "Let's go." And
it's like
try
grabs
to
hold of like,
sneak out.
he sort of looks over at his hand. It's got mud on it. So, so it grabs hold of your hand and sort of comes out into the night. You're now stood outside of the temple itself, and you can see the street is clear, but inside there's this absolute pandemonium. As you can see, all bright, sort of stood there like bold as brass, sort of like.
I guess we need to just get going. What's the best route? Wait, where's... I look around for Nora.
Dive back out of the bush. And I'll go. Okay, yeah, no, let's go this way. It's great plan, guys. I loved it.
As you begin your run. If you hear illustrious. Oh, illustrious running. So I'm gonna hold you on that. How long does guidance last for? It's like 10 minutes. Is it just next roll?
I should know that, shouldn't I?
I think it's 1.
It's a minute.
All right.
A minute? Okay.
Well,
great.
let's burn it because we're gonna need to do the check. So let's do a stealth check just to see it.
Spin it.
Spend it.
Also, I'm in plate armor. Am I at disadvantage?
Usually for dex checks, yes.
I think
All right,
so.
let's go. So that's a 5. Plus
And a D4.
1
Oh,
is
no.
6.
So you can hear this like chunk, 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 and as this guy comes out from around the corner, hang on a minute, and he kind of sticks his head around and sees this group, and then sees the child, and he just goes as he takes a breath in.
And I'm gonna cast Charm Person on the guy.
Nice. Okay. So what do you need from me? Is it wisdom? I think probably wisdom.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Okay. What's your DC?
For 13.
13. Oh! She goes, as I starts drooling. What would you like to charm me to do?
Wow.
Just, can you just forget that you saw anything? We're gonna go. Just stay here and just don't say anything to anybody.
I didn't see nothing.
Great.
Shit, he goes, tries to put his sword away, just goes, misses, and just drops it on the floor. So you guys sort of then start to move away as you go out into an alleyway. What's the alleyway called? Let's give the alleyway a name. I think my favourite one I've seen so far was at Waterdeep, which was Many Cats Alley. So we might stick around that name. Let's go with Many Cats Alley. So you got to go into Many Cats Alley. I keep saying it, Many Cats Alley. And you can see that there are many cats in Many Cats Alley.
Yes.
As there are literally every single windowsill, every single box, every rubbish bin, there is a cat sat on something somewhere. As you kind of start running your way through, I think Clove, you are in your element as you kind of run into here.
Clove waves at every cat as we go by.
And you just hear there's all these meows goes on. The kid's still with you, Clove, and it's just like points at each of them as he walks on, once passing like on the nose and like on the ear and stuff like that.
They all catch fire.
They all catch fire. Boom, boom, boom. As you kind of begin your journey, I'd say you need to go kind of southwest. That's it, from where you are to try and get through. You could then, as you get to the end of Manycat's Alley, you hear the bells start to ring around, which can only mean one of two things: either curfew's finished, or the alarm of the city is starting to be rung. As you come out to the other side of the road, and you come up onto, I'm going to call Main Street. And Main Street, it's not the Main Street, it's a terrible street, but it's sort of, one of those names that are called high streets when they're really not the high street. They're just like a couple of shops. It's that kind of flavor. But I think it's Nora, you still the eyes and ears at the moment. Is that kind of?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Is that all good?
As we're moving along, Illustrious is gonna come up and like just turn to Nora and say, "You seem to know this place better than most. May I?" And I sort of put my hand out, sort of almost asking if I can touch her on the shoulder. And I place my hand on her shoulder, and I gift her Eyes of the Night, which means she can now see for 300 feet in darkness.
Dark vision. Really lovely. Yes. Yeah. Great. Okay, that's going to really help.
Well, that was actually quite cool.
I think Albright, Loretta, are you kind of like already prepping for battle? Like you're already looking strategically everywhere you go, I'm guessing.
Everywhere is like, I'm just poised and just looking out for point, like kind of not really caring about where we're actually going, just looking around.
And I'm guessing it's sort of, if we've got Clove, you're kind of sticking around with the child and with Father Halu. Speaker Halu, my apologies.
Yeah, very much concerned, like knowing what the mission is now, that like I am at least within a kind of like sort of melee distance from the child. Not that I'm going to attack it, but for reasons.
Just in case.
Yeah, great. Okay, good. So you kind of get to the end, Nora, and you kind of peep around the corner, and it's that kind of like... and normally, you wouldn't have seen this, but about 150 feet away, at the end of Main Street, you see there actually, it seems to be a large collection of guards. It seems as if this might be like a starting point for this area. But it's the Main Street, being Main Street as well. It's got a light, hasn't it? Yeah. It's got plenty of light around Main Street, but where they are is in darkness. That's why you can kind of see them.
Okay.
But directly outside on the street itself is quite bright.
Okay.
And you reckon there's another... I reckon if you can get across the road, take a left and then take a right, you're down another alleyway.
Yeah, I would rather do that. I don't think she's going to say anything to the party. I think she's just going to put her head out, see that and go, nope. And then just like tear off in the other direction that she wants to go.
Okay, cool. So you come and step out into, and I think all of you see the light as Nora steps out into the light and then kicks off. And you all start following suit. I think, how many of you are used to this kind of situation? Are any of you used to this kind of situation? Of trying hiding and stuff like this? No. So Clove is no. It seems if Nora obviously is, being the thief. Albright, you seem to have the kind of strategic kind of flavour.
I mentioned that, like, perhaps the odds evac, but perhaps definitely not on this scale.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think all but Clove sort of go out and stick to the wall. The Clove's just like, oh, okay, we just go around the corner. Something with the child. So we kind of so it makes it much smaller target for anyone to see. So Clove, could you do a stealth check for me, please?
Sure.
13. Good. Just double check. Yes. Good. As you kind of like sneak around and you guys can disappear down Main Street. you look across. Actually, Clove, you might be the right person for this as well. As you kind of sneak around, your eye line kind of goes around to the buildings. So let's have a quick perception check.
Sure. 9.
Okay.
There's a lot going on. The city is very distracting.
What you do see is that from like literally this tiny peak from a curtain, and then it kind of goes down again as you carry on, and then you hear this bell behind you as this citizen steps out of their door and starts ringing the bell, ding 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 ding, and sort of points down, over here, ding 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 ding, as the guards sort of, you hear that kind of movement, the guards, as you pelt it off down another alleyway. What's the name of the alleyway, Nora?
Many Boots Alley.
Many Boots Alley.
Yeah.
We're in the beatbox ward.
Many Boots Alley. Oh my word. Many Boots Alley is where all the car boot sales are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's literally just like strewn with boxes. There's like white boxes spray painted on the ground. There's like certain detritus that are still around. A few bits and pieces as you kind of fall over, just literally clamble around on all of these items that are there. But you kind of make your way around through Many Boots Alley. The kid is like keeps trying to pick things up off the ground, and keeps almost stopping Clove.
Is the kid taller than I am?
I think they're slightly shorter than you.
Okay.
You reckon in human years is probably about 4 to 5.
Okay.
If that. But they keep stopping, and your arm kind of gets pulled.
Oh God.
Right. Just, come on, we gotta go. We gotta hurry. We gotta go. Let's go.
He kind of looks like confused as Speaker Hallow's like, "Come on, the sweetie." And he sort of like, as he goes to take the sweetie, sort of Speaker Hallow sort of starts moving.
Yeah.
As you carry on kind of running through. As you kind of come towards the end, this door opens to the side. As this other citizen sort of steps out. Who do they walk into? They almost bump into Albright as they kind of like step outside and kind of look at you. And then they hear the bells. And they look at you again.
I suggest you be quite quiet.
Is that an intimidation roll, or are you trying to persuade them?
I'm gonna try to intimidate.
Killing your charisma check so far. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, with an 8 charisma, it's a great one to choose.
Oh, that's good enough, I think. For
11.
And it look at you. They look down, and you can. I know you had like weapons that were hidden, but not very well. And they see that, and then they look around the rest of the group, and they just shut the door. And you guys continue running.
Nice.
At the end of Many Boots Alley, I think you kind of spend the next sort of few minutes sort of ducking and diving through different alleyways. As you then suddenly you come out onto like a big market square. And you can see, as you come out, you can see that pretty much every exit is sort of covered on this square. There seems to be some archers up high. And of course, the only things that's left is the canopies of the different market stalls that would lead across the canopy, across the market square to the other side. As Nora, you kind of get there first, and your first thought is, shit.
Shit. Shit. Okay, so this can work. This can work. She gets to her feet go like as she stops, and then she sees the canopies and like the closed up stalls, and she's like, okay, actually this can work. It's kind of cover, at least from a bit. So she's gonna like get into under one of the sort of canopy things, so she's slightly out of sight, try and duck behind one of the stalls and just like try and get everyone to huddle up because we really can't screw the pooch on this one.
Okay, so you've not stepped out into the market, you've just sort of like gone around the corner behind.
Like,
yeah. Okay, so we're not going to do any stealth checks yet.
okay.
As you kind of all clump together. And you're sort of all kind of quiet there. I think, Illustrious, you're like taking up like 20 halfling space.
Knees up my nose.
Yeah. Speaker Hallow is like breathing quite heavily. So, I haven't run like this for bloody years. And he kind of looks over, the kid's like, so, yes, I know. I should get better. This kind of looks towards all of you, trying to. So what's the plan?
We've got to get to the gate, and I think we might have to go through our group. Has anyone got any thoughts?
How many are there?
Joe, how many are there?
So, Joe, how many are there? So you saw at least 2 archers on the roofs.
Okay.
And you could see that for you, the other extras are too many, but the one that you think is the least guarded, there's 2 guards.
Okay. How much do I'll roll something for this, but how much further is it through that one to get to the gate?
You reckon that if you get past this, you've got one more alley, and then you're set. You're at the gate.
Okay, great. I will relay that information to everyone. Say, I think we should go through the 2Z.
Definitely makes sense. I think our speaker friend here should probably stick back. I imagine if we get captured or something, they're going to be a target of interest. So why don't we run up, try and deal with them as best we can, and see how we fare.
Yeah, are you coming with us?
I think it's wise if I did.
Okay, that's cool.
I mean, I don't
Keep your
want to
head
be in this city any longer.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I'll
Good
stay
job.
back with the speaker and the child. I can probably help you from here and not cause a ruckus. I think you're going to be able to hide a little bit better than me. But you, and he looks over at I haven't learned names yet. Loretta says, "You seem fast," and just sort of like taps them on the shoulder. And they get a vigilant blessing. So if it comes to it, you get your advantage on initiative.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Okay. So you're just so. Oh, the plan so far is that you're gonna bum rush these guys. Is that kind of like the idea?
The 2, yeah.
Okay. So far.
Bum rush the 2. I would like to hold back a bit if I can do and see where these archers are.
Okay.
And if I'm able to keep my eye on them.
Okay. And you can see that Clove is sort of sat there, like eyebrows going. And it's sort of like you can see that they're maybe contemplating something, and then they to have a thought on this.
Yeah, I think Clove is just trying to like map out how she could like get to the archers and where they are, and like she's kind of like counting all of the people that she could like maybe duck behind and hide on the way there, and she's trying to like see if that's possible to kind of sneak over using her like natural stealthiness as a halfling. And she's like, okay, she's trying to like do the math in her head.
Sort of like memory mansion, sort of just like jump. Land on this and then roll it. Yeah. Okay, cool. So it looks as if we've got one of the halflings looking towards the archers. Nora, you're going to try and take out the archers at the same time.
If needs be.
Okay. So maybe if we do one goes one way, one goes the other. So take out
great.
2 archers. All right, going for the guards.
Are the guards, like, in terms of their positions, how far away are they from each other?
They're literally, I think they're about 10 foot away from each other, just stood in that kind of, like, you know, if you had like an open market square, there'll be like an entrance way. It's like that. So it's not very particularly wide, but they just sort of stood there. I think you can see the puff of smoke from cigarettes as they're just sort of sat there, not stood there chatting. Really. Not the best of guards.
Okay.
I think when Loretta approaches those guards, I'm going to try and help out there.
Okay.
With a, yeah.
Okay, so what I think we'll do is we're just going to, I want you all just to roll a 20, and we're just going to see the order of things. But this is not initiative. This is just the order of things.
Okay.
Because I think you're all going to try and do this all at the same time. Is sort of the idea.
8 for Illustrious.
15 for Clove.
15 for Loretta.
Ooh. And then what's the last one?
19.
19. Okay. So you've got Nora, then we've got Loretta and Clove, and then finally Illustrious. They're kind of all going to happen at the same time. Okay. So, Nora.
Mm-hmm.
You can see there's one of the archers. I think as you kind of look up this way, you feel Clove has sort of gone the other direction.
Perfect.
Yeah, but before she goes, she's gonna this time kind of like very gingerly, because she's kind of afraid of Loretta, but she's gonna be like, you can have some guidance this time. She like touches her very quickly. And then she like quickly backs away.
And then run. And so if you can feel everyone moving the opposite, like it's that moment of like, as everyone's running off. Okay, Nora.
Okay. I've readied my short bow.
There we go.
Gonna try and go for a headshot from hiding, and we'll see, I guess. That hit.
17 hits. 4.
Okay.
With the sneak attack, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I'm finding all my buttons.
Oh, 15.
There we go.
So you just kind of look up. You kind of fly through the air, an absolute silence, and it just goes, ooh, as this kind of archer just sort of drops to the ground. Perfect. Okay, Clove. It's Loretta and Clove, isn't it? So if we just do. What's everyone's deck? I'm guessing Albright's going to have the higher decks. Yes.
Probably.
Yeah, we'll do Albright next. So
yeah,
you just seeing like you feel that shot as you're running. Loretta.
I run forward, and if the 2 guards are within 10 feet of each other, I want to get in the space between them, drawing the rapier as I run, and I want to go in for a rapier attack on one, and if I hit, I want to use a superiority die to make it a sweeping attack to hit both.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, good.
Rapier roll.
Yep, 17 hits.
17. Okay, so crikey, all that reading did nothing. It's all gone. Right, I can spend 1 more spirit to add damage to another creature with the same attack. Okay, so I do the damage for the first one, which would be. Oh wait, no, that's to hit again. Why is it not doing the damage?
If you tap the word rapier in the chat, it will then do the damage. Nope.
Oh, in the chat. Sorry,
It's all right, no worries.
There we are. 11 piercing damage.
Oh, great! So the first one drops. And so explain. We'll do the whole sequence so that we can see you. You can explain the whole next part as well, and we'll just do that whole description.
Okay, so if I just do the other superiority die, which is, what is my superiority die? Is it a D10?
yes, it is D10.
Oh, no, D8. Sorry, no, D8 at this level.
I actually want to make everybody heroic. Take D20. Okay, why not?
I will. And then 6 to the other. So I imagine I would run forth with the rapier, drive it like sort of into the neck of one, and then as they kind of react and the other one steps inwards, just draw it back out, flip it in the hand, and then backwards to the other one. And then hope it's enough to take both down. If not, this is going to get really awkward.
Yeah. I don't think you can use guidance for your damage roll, but yeah.
So you stab into the other one. The other one's sort of like tries to grab its own sword. It's out ready, but you kind of stabbed it across its throat, so it can't shout for help. But it hasn't gone down yet.
Okay, and then do I get 2 weapon fighting with this?
Offhand.
Offhand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a weapon equipped for that. No, can't. So
That's that.
has to be a different hand.
Okay, cool. So, Clove, you can feel the shot kind of go off. You feel Loretta run. And then you got to try and make your way to an archer, I think was the plan, wasn't it?
Yeah, so where, like, can I get within 10 feet of an archer, just to be very specific about what I'm trying to do?
I'm going to allow you one, like, acrobatics check to get up to them.
Sure.
Because they're, like, a little bit higher. I won't call it part of your action.
Okay.
This time.
Thank you. Oh, gosh, 7.
So you kind of like, you roll through, you sort of like jump onto the side, you bounce off this thing, and then you land on these big crate of oranges, and then you jump up, and as you kind of swing up to get onto this canopy, you just fall through the other side because of the canopy's fabric isn't strong enough, and you just like slam down, and you look up, and you can see that building up there, and you see that archer sort of turning to look down at you. Hasn't seen you yet.
Okay. It's gonna just like very quickly change what I was gonna do. So, just checking a range. And I think it's fine. Yeah. Okay. She's Lova's kind of like shit. And so then she just like shoots her hands up and casts Moonbeam upon that archer. And so this 40-foot, 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder of light just like shoots down on that archer, and it will do a con save.
Okay.
And yeah, I will. Here.
DC, what was the DC?
13.
Okay, meets it beats. So it's gonna take half damage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the damage on that? 8. Okay, cool. So, actually, that is enough. So, we see this kind of like the light, just like, wow, it's this like beam of light slams onto the top of this building, and almost that kind of archer kind of like disappears in light almost, as the moonbeam sort of stays with you, of course, because it's still with you. But the archer is like, yeah, no more. Just no more.
Okay.
And you're like, ooh, you're kind of quite surprised by like the power of this of the moon.
Yeah, I think she was planning on trying to be sneaky about it, and then was like, well, okay. It's not gonna be sneaky, but it's distracting.
Yeah, it is very distracting. So we're gonna move over. Is there anything else you'd like to do at all, or was that you?
No, she's just gonna try to like tuck and roll behind something.
Tuck and roll. Great. And so we go through, and we see Illustrious. You're sort of with the child. So you felt the shot go off. You've just seen this craziness happen. This was about to happen. You're about to kind of see the light. What would you like to do here? Because of course this is all happening at the same time.
Yeah, so I see Loretta like go and attack the 2 guards, and both of them are still standing.
No, one of them's definitely dead. The other one
of them's definitely dead.
One is up, but you don't. It's interesting moment here is that you can't really react to each other because it's all
Okay.
happening at the same time. Do you see what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Well, my plan was to try and disable one of those as Loretta was running up, so that's not necessarily going to affect the plan too much.
Perfect.
So
That's great. Yep.
So as they're running up, I go to look out. Suddenly see this blinding light like shoot up into the sky. Be like, okay, and like hold on to my holy symbol of an eye and just mutter a couple of arcane words, and like an owl almost made of fireflies flies out, sort of soars past Loretta and goes straight into the chest of the guard as I cast sleep.
Oh, nice. So you can see. So I think Loretta, you kind of like your reaction is sort of like stab. Then it goes to grab and sort of like pinned to the wall by your thing. So what we see here is the poof moment. The shot kind of goes off. Stab, stab. The light beams down, and then the owl turns them off to sleep. The whole place is blinding, beamed out with light. As I think that moment, I think Speaker grabs the child and sort of like taps Illustrious, as then you're all sort of like converging up towards all right, as you kind of get to the end, just as like everyone's beginning to kind of converge into that into the market square. Clove, do you want to carry it? Do you want to move your moonbeam with you? Because I don't know if you want to backlight it or if you just like...
Set up a bat symbol.
I think she kind of like very quickly like and like tries to like turn it off, and she's like
Off the candle.
Look at level 8, it goes out.
does a wave, like it flicks off as she's like trying to run in the opposite direction.
And as you do it, you were convinced that the moon waves back at you. Convinced. As you kind of run out, as you get out to the market square, out into a darker street, you take a left, and you see that Nora just stops and huddles down next to like this group of boxes. You all can hear voices going off. As Nora, you stick your eye out and back in, and you see that there's 6 guards at the gate. Gate itself is closed, and it looks as if like they seem to be in animated chat.
Okay.
So you kind of like turn to the rest of the group, and I'm guessing relay.
Yeah, I'll let them know what's going on.
And then suddenly you hear 4 of them run off.
Okay, which way did they run?
They went up like straight past you guys, off. In fact, they've kind of gone around. You reckon they're off to the market, leaving 2 of them. And you can see as you kind of pop back out, you can see there's this really old guard and this really young guard. And the young guard's like, I just want to go and like stab stuff. And the older guard's like, look, we could be like, stands up, do nothing, look busy. It's the best job in the world. And he's just like, I want to stab something. He's like, shut up, lad. And leans against the wall. As you can see, the gate kind of like firmly kind of shut. And right next to them is the big crank for the gate. I'm not going to move you guys over because we're going to see a map.
There's a map.
Okay, let's have a look-see. There we go. And just going to get you guys in the right spot. So yeah, you're kind of like round an alleyway up here somewhere, right? That's kind of my thought process. You're over here somewhere. All right. Great. And you can see there's 2 guards sort of stood there. Let me just make sure everybody at home can see that. Fantastic. Yeah, and you see the 2 guards sort of by the gate.
I can't see anything.
Oh, have I not?
Sometimes you have to refresh roll 20.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh no, I think
refresh.
it's my side. It's okay. I've got it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm banned.
There you go. You should see it now.
Oh, I was refreshing, so I just, just gonna keep it. Gripping stuff, guys.
Is everybody else can see? Can everybody else see?
All good.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go, baby.
Very good. As you can see, the two guards sort of stood there. But you say that the gate is 100% shut. The bells are kind of going off all over the place.
Okay. Can this building that we're by,
Mm-hmm.
do I know of any like secret ways through it? Is there like a crawl space underneath? Anything that I might know about to get to the back of it?
And let's do a little history check.
Yeah.
Let's do it with advantage.
Yeah. Just get my character sheet back up from the refreshing. Sorry.
Refresh.
Mm.
Refresh. That's a copyright strike.
Just doing a
Thanks, mate.
story. There's one.
Yeah, I think you know that this you do, yeah, there is, but you think this is like one of the dirtiest houses. It's like literally on the gate of the city is a horrific house.
That's fine, I don't mind.
So much mud and whatever is underneath that.
Cool, that's okay. What I would like to do is like get to the other side of this building and just make a big noise and see if I can pull some of these, at least one of these guys away.
Great. Okay, so you're going to kind of go to like the other side over here somewhere.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so what sort of noise do you make?
I'm going to throw one of my flasks of oil
Ooh, so it goes...
against the wall and make a big smashy.
So, and the rest of you can see one of them. So the younger one is like, yeah, what's up? Oh, calm your socks down, lad. Go up, go check it out. So he's like, yeah, he runs off. Ching, 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 as he sort of runs off, leaving the old guard. The old guard. There you go. The old guard's not.
Yeah, oh god.
Okay, so let's do. We're gonna get to them and see what you guys want to do with this remaining one. Love that we haven't got into combat yet. This is nice.
I'm doing my damnedest.
Do we need to get him to open the gate? I think Love kind of whispers to the others.
I think we
I
do.
would imagine so, yes.
I could ask him really nicely. You know, she kind
Always
of wiggles her
worth
fingers to like.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
Just quickly checking the range on charm person.
Okay.
Yeah, 30 feet.
All right. So you're gonna give it a go.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of like poke my head out around so I can see him, but maybe he hasn't quite spotted me yet. And I'm gonna kind of like give a little wave, and that's try to cast charm person on him.
Okay, let's give it a go. So I need
So
to
yeah,
roll.
wisdom DC 13.
Oh.
This is old guard. Old guard. Does he feel anything? Do they know?
Yeah, if it fails, no. They know when if they got charmed and when it's over.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to like, say something with my wave, so you might have like heard me, but she was trying to be sneaky about it.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that you would have to have heard you for the charm to sort of to come in. So he kind of looks over, and he sort of sees you, and he just grabs hold of the belt. Ding 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 ding. Let's roll initiative.
Roll, baby.
Okay, good.
Sorry.
That was good call.
Yes, Ryan.
Really great call. Just didn't come out. It's just the way it is.
Oh, sorry, that's probably me.
I
These
forgot to click my
initiative
token.
rolls.
Okay, good. I need to add a roll.
Oh.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. never know how to do that.
Okay, so
Do you know how to do it? I just.
let's have a look. So usually if you select your token, where's Loretta?
Yeah.
Where's Loretta? Oh, there's Loretta. So let me just add that one in. Yeah, so usually if you select it before you do the
Here,
roll.
and, I rolled the same twice. Perfect.
Perfect. I'm just trying to get Loretta's to add a turn. There we go. Okay, and that was a...
Just added it.
Okay, you just added it. Great. Fabulous. Great.
I need to get mine in.
Ah, so we've still got...
Sorry.
Is it all right? I'm just going to move you around.
Chaos.
I haven't even added the others in yet. Okay, so
Oh, the others.
how many was it?
It's 21.
No.
21. Perfect. All right. So I think we've got Loretta first. Yep, fabulous. All right, music change.
Oh dear.
Okay, let's go.
We
Loretta,
did
you
try.
just seen like Clove attempt to sort of get the gate open through charming, which unfortunately didn't happen. As the bell has now starts to ring, you start to hear the sound of dogs barking in the distance.
Oh no.
Right. I will use 20 foot of movement to run over. And okay, he's already rung the bell, hasn't he? So there with the rapier, just bring it out and kind of just try and thrust it into the arm to like basically just disengage the arm from the bell to get that to stop immediately.
Oh yeah,
So
nice.
that attack, 21 to hit.
21 hits him.
And 7 piercing damage.
Lovely. As you sort of like sever a tendon in his elbow, he sort of just like his hand kind of just goes limp, which means he can't ring that bell anymore.
And if he's still standing, then I'm just going to just say to him, I need you to call him off or you're going to end up on the floor.
And it just goes, for the glory of the Empire. And he's sort of like old guard. He's wearing a few minor like medals, sort of bronze medals and stuff. He's been here a long time.
He's got his swim badge.
He's got his 50 feet swim badge. But yeah, he stays firm. Anything else you'd like to do, Loretta?
With the remaining 5 feet of movement, I'm just going to get further around to this side, and I think that's all I can do.
Okay, good. Nora, you can see that there's a guard. The guard sort of like hears the bell and turns around. So he's kind of...
great.
Yeah, I just thought I'd give you a little gifter.
Perfect. She goes, oh, great. She's going to...
good, Lush. Oh, Lush.
Oh, great. She's going to run up with a dagger in each hand. I should have my other one equipped, but I don't. A dagger in one hand.
Okay.
And we'll work
figure that one out. Oh, here we go into the crits. Okay. So you're going to decimate this guy because you've also got the sneak attack on it as well, I'm guessing. All right. And again, let's roll the sneak attack again.
Yep.
Right.
Oh.
Do you want to describe this one?
Yeah. He turns his back to me like a mug. She goes, oh, great. She goes, up, and she's just going to full on through the air, legs behind, jump up to the nape of his neck, and she's going to just jam it straight in at the brainstem. And as he falls forward, she's going to like try and plant her feet on his back and land in a sort of skater pose. Like he's a little skateboard. She's the boss.
Oh my word.
Oh, she said, see you later, boy.
Anything else? Real good. Taking advantage on that one. Okay. So.
Oh, I should move myself, sorry.
Yeah, what would you like to do?
Yeah.
Great. Anything else you'd like to do, Nora?
I might use my cunning action, because I haven't done a bonusy to just tuck myself back into the stinky crawl space under the house.
Nice. Okay, and so we're through to Clove. Yes.
Yeah. Clove's gonna like apologize to everyone. She's like, sorry. Feels very guilty that she's in this situation, so she's gonna kind of run up and then just poof a little smoke ball at him, and she's gonna cast poison spray at him. So I need a con save, DC 13.
Yeah, sure. Oh, he rolls a 12, fails it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that look like? How can you describe that kill for me?
So again, it's just like a little like wave thing, and this little poof of smoke just travels like from her hand over and just like engulfs his face in like poisonous smoke.
And is it that kind of like really phlegmy chest as he kind of drops to a knee and then just falls
like,
down? And sorry, I was about to say, I had to have the sorry in there as well.
Yeah, I am Canadian after all. So.
Anything else you'd like to do, Clove?
I think she's just going to look around because she's still very concerned about how they're getting like out through this gate. So she's just trying to like figure out what they're supposed to do next.
Okay, so you see the big crank, which has got big chains on it, to the side, which is over here somewhere.
Okay. So she might like point it out to people, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to stay in battle order. Because I'm going to keep going. So you can see that there is a big sort of thing here. It looks ginormous to turn it, and it's going to take a while to turn it. But Illustrious, you see it across the side. In fact, you all see it. So Illustrious, it's now your turn.
Okay. Is the old guy dead?
Oh yeah, it's dead.
Okay. So Illustrious sort of spots the crank and makes his way over to it. As he passes the guy, as his face is like slowly melting on the floor, he just spots like a little piece of parchment out of his pocket that says "Happy Retirement, Phil. Enjoy the end of your service."
Canon. Okay, good.
And it's like that scene from Last Crusade, right? Like his face is just kind of...
and then just a few drops of his face just hits the parchment, and it starts to like dissolve away, like, and just sort of looks over. Sorry, Phil. And just starts like pulling at the thing, at the crank.
Great. The priest is going to come over and help you out too. You reckon it's going to take another 4 rounds to get it up high enough for you to be able to get out.
Where is Chunna?
Chunna is currently with you because they're with the priest, so they're sort of like they're all kind of together. So it's kind of like best place they can be is kind of by your side, really.
Okay, sweet. So as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Cool.
To protect us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I use my action to start. Oh, hello. I use my action to start cranking, and I'll bring out a spiritual weapon. I don't know if I have a token for that.
That's okay. What would it be of?
Like an eye.
Okay, cool.
But only if it's convenient.
Maybe look. Oh, got a little washy eye. There we go.
Ah, sweet.
Okay. So yeah, you hear the dogs barking as you look behind you, as you see that there are 4 dogs being on leashes with 4 soldiers. These soldiers look a little bit bigger than the guards that were there. Their medals seem to be a little darker as they kind of stood around. So let me just put them into the initiative order, and then we shall continue our little battle. 1 there, and finally for the soldiers. There we go. So let's move these around manually. So soldiers, mastiffs go there, and the soldiers go there. Oh, there. I think Illustrious should go ahead because you're a player. Great. As you can hear the sounds barking, the bells are now ringing everywhere. It seems to be like any sort of metal surface. So like anything that they can hit with a stick, they sort of like the sound begins to sort of ring through. Alrighty, so let's keep cracking on. So I'm gonna say, Dan, if you want to continue cranking this, you're gonna have to use your actions to keep cranking it. Just so you're
that's
aware.
cool. I've just looked and I've got a powerful build as my thing. Does that count for anything? So I count as a size larger whenever I'm doing anything physical.
All right, so let's say it's going to take 3 rounds instead of 4 rounds to do it.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I'm just going to keep cranking.
Okay, cool. All right, so Loretta, you can see the dogs behind you.
Stop it.
I was trying to push through. Oh no, that's even worse. I was trying to I was trying to just continue on.
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay, Loretta, you hear the dogs barking behind you as you see them sort of round the corner.
Oh, God, it had to be dogs. I run. The key thing is to keep them safe. Yeah, draw into maybe here. And yeah, bring out the rapier and just hope that I'm within enough distance to catch any as they come past. So I'll hold an action for any to come within melee range to attack.
Okay, Nora, you're currently hiding underneath the thing at dog level.
I don't feel good about killing a dog though, so I'm gonna. Okay.
Young lad with his military career in front of him, he just.
He had an attitude that I didn't care for. I think I'm gonna come out my hidey hole. I'm gonna just move to this corner. Poke my head out, and I'm going to try and sort of arc a bow to the man who's got the other end of the lead.
Okay,
an arrow even. I'm not just going to hurl my bow.
Which ones?
I'm just going to fling it.
Which one would you like to hit? You can ping them.
This guy.
That guy there. Great. Okay. Alrighty, let's go for the shot.
All right.
18.
18.
It meets. It hits.
Okay.
Yeah, they are tanked up for 5 piercing damage plus.
Would you say I'm sneaking?
I'd say you're hidden enough. Yeah, you were hidden behind it before.
Okay, so 17 total.
17.
Another crit. That's double sixes.
That is a great shot. So let's see how how can you describe that for me as the dog is then released from his thing.
And I'm sure he's pleased about it and he runs away. And I'm like, oh no, not dog. I love dogs. Oh God. So she like scuttles around, gets to the corner, and she like looks at the dog. She's got her short bow drawn, draws it, points at the dog, and she points at the man, and she like points it slightly up, and just lets it go. So it's going to clear the dog beautifully, straight in the old man's eye.
Nice. Great name, great pub. Wonderful pub. Okay.
Excellent ale selection.
Actually, brilliant ale selection. Alrighty. So, anything else you'd like to do, Nora?
I've still got a bonus here, haven't I? Yeah, I'm going to get back in the filth underneath here.
Back in the filth.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I'm absolutely stinking.
Okay. So, Clove, you are currently. Yeah, you've just seen the smell sort of hit you really, and then you felt the shot, and then it disappeared again.
She's gonna once again, all of these dogs and guards have run up, and she's like, oh shoot, and so she once again kind of like shoots her hands forward for a moonbeam to catch, kind of just right in the middle of them, to catch as many of them as she can. Okay. So I need con saves from all of them.
Okay, how big is the...
It's a 5-foot radius.
Okay, so
10 feet across.
Yeah, sure. So we're looking at that kind of size?
Yeah.
Cool.
Is it possible to kind of hit the dogs at the corners too, or is this... We got 2 guards and that's it?
I think we can get 2 guards, 2 dogs.
Great. Yeah.
So would you like 1 or 2 con saves?
2 con saves, I
Oh,
guess.
because playing safe. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Gamble.
All right, so 2 from the soldiers. 1, 2. So that gives us 15 and a 15, so they both save it. And then
Yeah, so they each take 5 radiant damage.
And then 5 from the dog, and 2 from the dogs.
Yeah.
1. Oh, and 1 fails. Okay.
Got one.
Okay.
So how much damage
One
they
of them
taken?
takes 10 damage.
Okay. This poor dog, like,
No.
obliterated. This other dog is completely obliterated in light. She just start taking dogs down. And the 2 soldiers. 2 soldiers each take 5 radiant damage each, and sort of like it's got
Great.
this moon is sort of kicking through to them.
I realize now that we're actually doing this in initiative, I think they technically take the damage like when they start their turn. So
Okay,
they
that's
might get
fine.
to go first before that.
Nah,
Before they.
those dogs are out anyway. It doesn't matter. But the soldiers, I suppose, on the same point, if you do end up attacking them, they're going to have that. Yeah, I'm going to hold them where they are. You're right. And then on their turns, we'll take off the radiant. That is a good point, because if anybody wants to attack them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that that line. That honesty is good. All right.
Curry favor with the DM is always a
Yeah.
Nah, screw me over.
That's not the name of this channel.
All right. So, Illustrious, you're going to continue cranking.
Yeah,
I'm
and this is
guessing.
going to continue to get crank. But I'm going to move my spiritual weapon 20 feet. Do I? Yeah, thank you. Are we saying these dogs are still alive?
Yeah, they're saying the dogs are still
Yeah.
alive.
So they are illuminated in moonlight, which you have now seen do something, but they haven't actually taken the damage yet. So
Yeah.
So the big eye is slightly squinting as it.
Oh, is it squinting?
God.
Is it squinting? Is it? Okay, cool. Let's do that with. I'm joking.
You shall not bring flavor to this.
No.
11. Does 11 hit the dog?
It does not.
It does not.
It does not.
All right. Well, yeah. Then I'm distracted. I'm still cranking away.
Okay, cool.
Still cranking away.
Right. So soldiers, suddenly they scream out in pain. No! As they take their 5. Like that. No! You know, that's literally like that. Okay, great. And they all let go of the leads, which I think is important. And this one is going to move towards you, Loretta.
I'd like to take my held action to attack them if I can.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so let's do this right first time.
Oh.
I'm a halfling.
Oh,
You're a halfling.
yeah.
There we go.
So do I re-roll or do I take the second value in roll 20?
Just re-roll.
Re-roll. Cool.
I love that. I'm a halfling. I'm a halfling.
Right, great.
Ooh.
21 hits.
Oh, thank God. 9 piercing damage.
Great. Okay. And they respond to you doing that, obviously, as they come in with their 2 attacks. Okay.
Oh,
2 attacks.
Oh, that one misses. Second one. Oh, they both miss. 11 misses. Wow. I think then Clove, one of them throws over a spear towards you. Oh, it misses. Oh my word! They throw their second. Oh, and it misses. Oh my word! Insane. This one is actually going to move to here. And they are going to throw they throw a net. They tried to throw a net at you, Loretta.
Rude.
They were so distracted by the market. They've got all the trinkets. They've got friendship bracelets. They've got shark tooth necklaces.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Got some Turkish delight.
Oh, I cannot believe that. No single here. So the mastiffs. What you notice is that the mastiffs all seem to be pointing towards the child, as if they can smell something on them. Especially trained dogs. But they start running, and they're going to come in for random different attacks, I think. Yeah, let's get to that.
Did they take their moonlight damage though? Or are they dead?
Oh,
or
those two are dead. Yes, you are absolutely correct. Thank you. That one's dead. That one's dead. Yeah, fuck it. This was going to come to here. We will hit something, won't we, doggies? Yes. So I'm going to take this with advantage. Two of them. 18. Hits.
Just hits.
And the other one doesn't. So can I get a strength saving throw, please?
Ooh. Strength saving throw.
Okay.
Ooh, 8.
So you're now prone, as you've got this mastiff on you, and you've taken 3 piercing damage.
3 piercing damage.
Okay. Put that one back there because that one's dead. Okay. Priest is going to continue helping you to keep pulling. As you hear another set of dogs.
For God's sake.
You think it's 2 dogs. But actually what you see is something far more terrifying.
Oh no.
3 dogs.
4 dogs stuck together.
The thing that gets you the most is that you know the handler because of the dogs. The dog is 2-headed dog, which is a death dog, which is called Judge and Jury.
Oh Lord.
The owner of the dog is a person that you know is being called Bartek, who is the leader of the black bottles. Around them you then see what looks like a almost sort of wizened, impossibly old druid that you know to be called Grim. You've kind of all got files on all of these. These are like very high leveled black bottles. You also see that there is a speaker Kane, who has been responsible for most, if not all, of the executions that have been taking place throughout the city, and they tend to bless them. And finally, you see them and then they disappear again, as you see Sek, the assassin, as they suddenly disappear.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to roll these guys into initiative.
Great.
The one in the green, is he the speaker, executioner, blesser man?
Give me 1 second. I'm just going to pop these in.
Oh yes.
Oh, good.
Yes, the
Right.
Richard and Judy did well.
I knew Richard and Judy would come through from that, literally. Yes, that is Speaker Kane.
Thank you.
Okay. Everyone at home seeing all of these stats going, Jesus Christ. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, yes, and we're back through to Loretta. You suddenly see that this has become a far more dangerous situation. But what's interesting, you notice, is that they seem to be on their back foot watching. They don't seem to be going forth quite yet.
Interesting.
But you do look back towards the child and you think now they're in real trouble.
Okay. Gotta deal with what's immediately around. So I'm going to use half my movement to stand up. And then I'm gonna do a I think I can do that on more than 2. Let me just double check on the sweeping attack. Oh no, it's just the 1 on the sweeping attack. Oh, I don't really want to hit dogs. So I'm going to run 5 foot forward to here, and I'm going to do a rapier attack to the one to the north, and then if I hit sweeping attack to the one to the bottom right as well.
So this one, the people's instead of the doggies.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I like dogs.
Okay. Let's have a look. Let's see how this goes.
24 to hit the one to the top.
That hits to the top to the north.
8 piercing damage.
Great. And how does that look?
Oh.
Just from getting up from being prone, I'm just going to step forth with a knee and just raise up myself up and bring it up between the chin and just straight through. And then as I bring it back down, just swing it back through, and again another backhand to the other one, which is just a D8 'cause it's just a superiority die. 4 to that one.
Okay.
So imagine that one will just probably catch it in a knee, given my height.
Yeah,
or lack of.
Yeah, exactly. You slam through. You kind of like catch your eye across towards Bartak, and then sort of her eyebrow just sort of raises and then drops. Okay. However, they let go of their dog. Okay. Okay, as it runs towards you, it has smelt you. It smelt you out. Okay, so let's have a look at these death dogs. God.
Love the sound of it. Sounds like it's going to be good for me.
Okay. So let's go in for 2 bites. Okay, first one, 13.
No.
Second one. Oh my god.
No.
As you literally you see this like terrifying 2-headed dog. So one goes to bite and you notice that kind of like it's just foaming, just like this poison just pouring out of its mouth. The other one, you notice the kind of the large muscles at the back of its throat here, and it seems to be extremely powerful. However, it does not hit you. Okay, and you have a chance to respond.
Yeah, so from where I am, I'm going to slither around in the mud and grab hold of my short sword in one hand and my dagger in the other. So I'm going to go both of these on the poison head.
Okay.
Because I don't like that one.
Both on judge. Okay.
18.
18 hits.
7. And then I'm going to dagger it in the snoot. Which is a 10.
10 misses.
Yeah, okay.
You get
so
sneak attack for that first one because you're within 5 feet of an ally.
You are in
Oh,
within 5
yes,
feet.
I do.
Yeah, so let's do that then, please.
Well remembered, thank you.
Rogue shit. Oh,
Oh, very nice.
oh
Good.
goodness.
So good.
The dog seems completely unfazed by the attack that you just did.
Sweet. So
It doesn't even howl out. It just sort of just like carries on with its horrible stinky breath.
great.
Okay.
I'm horrified.
Clove, you've just seen this no dog you've ever seen before come in towards your new friends yet and go in for the bite and miss. So,
So Clove is going to kind of like sweep her hand and direct the moonbeam to basically move sideways so that it gets the scary dog and the other dog.
okay, how far can it move?
60 feet.
Oh,
so.
great. Yeah, so we just move it to there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So that's her action.
And it's con saves, isn't it?
Yeah, con saves on their turn.
Okay, we'll wait. Yeah, good call.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think, where's the kid in all of this? Like by the gate?
they're down by the gate. So is Speaker, Halu, and Illustrious.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all she's gonna do. But there's con saves coming.
Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah.
soldiers. Okay, so this soldier, I need to hit something. I really do. This soldier's going to move. He's going to move to here on top of the old dead soldier. Let me just move that to the back. There you go. Let's get some attacks in with some advantage, I think. That's the only way I'm going to do this. Okay, long swords. I'm going to switch it over to two-handed. Why not? All right, so do this with advantage. 19.
There we go.
Wait a minute, I've got something.
Yeah.
Can I use my reaction as a defensive duelist to add my proficiency bonus to AC, which brings it up to a 20, so it wouldn't hit?
All right, let's go for the next one.
Amazing.
And then we go for the other two. 1 and 2. Oh, that one hit. So, okay, so it's going to hit for 15 slashing damage.
Oh. Ouch.
Owie.
Oh.
As it slams through. Is there any other soldiers? No. Okay, Illustrious. You reckon there's one more round of this? If you can keep going.
This round being the last one?
No, one more round. One more round of this so you can get through.
Okay, so I'm going to keep on cranking. And then I'm going to keep on getting crank. And I'm going to use my spiritual weapon to attack this soldier just here that it's next to. Try and clear them off the field.
All right, let's do it.
20 to hit.
20 hits.
For 11 force damage.
Oh, okay. They look pretty screwed over.
Okay. Yeah, that's my turn. It's just hand over hand.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, cool. Out of nowhere, I think who should take this? Wow. Sort of, I think it has to be Albright, doesn't it? It's always got to be Albright. Albright's got to take everything. Okay, out of nowhere, there's a sudden sort of. Oh no, I'm not gonna do that. Yes, there's a sudden attack as you feel a bolt come towards you. 24.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, cool. And shook. There we go.
Oh my god.
As Sek, the assassin, fires a thing over, and all you guys see is just them drop, and you hear a giggle from the darkness as Albright falls.
Thankfully, it's not enough to outright kill me, but
Okay.
I'm unconscious.
Yeah. As you see the black bottle kind of having a bit
I've got to do a con save against that poison damage.
Oh, phew. Okay.
Oh god, make sure I do that.
Oh, he makes it. Okay. You take half as much of the poison.
I'm still down.
You're still down. But you see them drop, and you can feel that the black bottle are just sort of playing with you now, and they're sort of enjoying themselves quite a bit. As we go through to as you look up, as you see Grim is just sort of like he's making roses appear and then just like pulling the petals off, and then he's just making roses appear and just pulling the petals off. It's this druid is just sort of making things grow and then destroying them as he goes through. As Bartek is sort of whistling and using the whistle to sort of like direct, and it's going to help the two-headed dog, Judge Judy.
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy.
To sort of help them direct, but they're not going to do much else. They're going to sort of step forward. Oh, wrong one. They do step kind of forward, and they look across, and they do see the child, and that's kind of like slight change sort of occurs.
Shit.
The war chaplain is too busy. He's praying. I think who would know this? Probably Illustrious. And what he's actually doing is doing last rites.
That's nice of him.
For you. Mastiffs. Okay. All right. So now we've got a mastiff needs to a massive needs to do
Jungle is mastiff.
Jungle is mastiff. It needs to do their con save.
Yeah.
Fails. So they're down. Right. I'm guessing you can probably roll better than a 5. So,
Yeah. Well.
Let's have a look.
8.
Yeah. So this dog kind of gets burnt up in the light, and Judge Judy comes in for the con save. Oh no, not yet. No, not yet.
Oh, there you go.
God, I keep forgetting that. Okay, so mastiffs are down. Oh no, one mastiff left.
Oh.
Okay, mastiff kind of comes over and is going to attack you, illustrious.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to sort of say the word illustrious. 16 is not going to hit you with it.
It just bounces off my armor.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Priest as it starts moving, and what you can notice is that like he's speeding up. He looks at you, illustrious, and says, "I will hold the gate. You go." As you see the gate kind of creeps up about a foot from the ground as the priest sort of holds onto it.
Okay then.
As we come through to Loretta. Okay, succeeds. As you all see, Loretta has fallen to the ground, but yes. Okay, death dog time. Let's do the con save. Fails. It
So
takes
8 radiant damage.
Okay. And then it's going to attack you, Clove.
Okay.
So 2 head, 2 bites. First bite, second bite. Wow, these
Both
guys,
miss.
they just like, this feels like a first episode fight, doesn't it? Okay.
This is awesome.
All right, Nora, you've just seen that the gate has risen up by a foot. You've
Yeah.
also seen that Loretta has fallen.
Where's the baby?
Child is over with the priest over here, and with Illustrious.
I can't. I've only got little legs. Yeah, there's no one by me, is there?
No. You've got,
I don't wanna do
you
that.
are engaged with the dog, I think. You just have to disengage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to disengage from the dog with my cunning action. And I'm going to go over to get this bebe. And I don't have enough movement to get back under the gate because I've only got 25 feet because I'm so small.
You could dash it as your action.
Oh, yes, I could.
Yeah, so that can get you through.
Can I dash and get like a sliding grab on the baby, or do I have to go?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. So as you're running,
great.
you sort of go
Sort
through
of rugby style.
grab hold of them.
Yeah.
As you slide
Slings
through,
it.
it's this kid's like arm kind of goes out towards the speaker as
Yeah,
you
and
slide underneath.
Gonna go like feet first on my back, baby like huddled here.
Yeah,
So
great.
won't get hurt.
Okay, Clove. Then you just
Okay.
you just seen Nora run. Loretta go down, and this huge dog's in front of you trying to bite your face off.
Right, yeah. Okay, that's dogs a lot. And so she's gonna have to allow the opportunity attack as she's gonna kind of inch around the moonbeam to try to get to Loretta.
Okay, so let's get the opportunity attack. It's 1 bite. 15.
Yep.
Okay, for 6, and can you do a con saving throw, please?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. You escaped the disease. Word, you've been diseased for a long time. Okay, so, so you take 6 piercing damage as you swing around.
Okay. But I can get around.
Yeah.
Uh,
Get around.
and
Right.
I'm gonna. Okay, yeah. There's. Okay. I'm gonna reach out a hand and cast Cure Wounds on Loretta.
Mhm.
At 2nd level. Let me. figure out how I do that on my sheet. I think.
You just hit the spell. It should come up.
Yeah.
There we go.
Great.
For 6.
7.
7.
Yeah.
Great.
7. More importantly, they're up. That is the most important thing. And what does your heals look like? Just sort of like a flavor. Just for more flavor, please. Yes, Dan, more flavor.
I think she just comes over and she kind of like bops Loretta on the nose a little bit. I'm like, boop.
So eyes kind of
This is
spring
like,
open.
just get up now. Come on, we gotta go.
All right, Bopsy does it. 1d4 damage.
So you pop them open. So that was your bonus, I'm guessing. Or was that your main action?
No, cure wounds is an action,
Of course.
right?
Yeah. So what's your bonus you're gonna do, if any?
And with my bonus action, I am going to Misty Step out of here
Yes,
to the other side. Which I think I can just do, and I don't think they get attacks of opportunity, right?
No, they do not.
Right.
So it's just 30 feet. So yeah, you can get all the way out. Yeah, that's fine.
Great.
As they just sort of puff and disappear.
Yeah, and it's kind of a, don't go down again. I don't want to have to come back.
So let's move you straight out. Great. Okay, soldiers. Seeing what's kind of going on and seeing that you just got up, they're going to, one of them's going to attack you. The other is going to go and come down towards Illustrious, I think. Oh, I'm missing one of you. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so the one's going to attack you first. Albright. I don't want to keep running your Albright. Loretta. There we go. Comes in with the hits. Okay, so 14 and 5. So no, they don't hit you.
The first one would, because it'd be advantage, because I'd be prone.
Before slashing damage. Thanks for the honesty.
Yeah.
Honesty box. I like this group. Okay, and then 2 as they sort of like try to attack you, Illustrious, which I think is what makes you let go of the thing, leaving it to the priest. Do you know what I mean? It's you like, oh shit, and you have to like deal with this problem. So I'll just go there, and now Illustrious, you now have your chance to move.
Yes. So Illustrious sort of takes those 2 hits across the back and sort of like swings round, and as they swing round, almost like a golden hour shimmer comes across their armor, and they bring their hands down like this, and it sort of slowly extends out into a 30-foot radius as I use my channel divinity, which is Twilight Sanctuary. So I have a 30-foot aura around me. So whenever anyone ends their turn, including me, in the sphere, I can give them 1d6 hit points plus my cleric level.
Nice.
So that's my action. My bonus action, I'm going to move my spiritual weapon in. Oh, I think you need to do that for me, Joe, to move it to hit this soul. I want to try and take out this soldier that's taken out Loretta.
Up here.
Thank you. Do I get flanking with a spiritual weapon?
Yeah, I can't see why not.
You would, unless being prone means that you don't.
Does being prone mean that you have?
Well, the thing is, the whole point of flanking is that you're essentially confusing it. You're sort of both doing something in front of it. So if they're on the ground, but they've been attacked, I'm going to allow it for this time. Let's just do it. So let's do the.
I mean, realistically, how much higher are they going to get if they stand up? Like, it's much of a minus. 19 to hit.
19 does hit.
For 9 force damage.
So close. Okay, and they look terrible. It's this like mass flash of light kind of bursts through as the eye slams into the side of the soldier. The soldier looks battered and bruised, but it definitely. Oh, what's that for? Oh, that's
my temporary hit points.
Right. Fabulous. Are you gonna move or anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15... 15 to there. Which will probably... Do I provoke a attack of opportunity from the dog?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to come to there and try and assist my new mate.
Okay. Assassins.
I just literally leech down and be like, time to go.
Yeah, it really is time to go. Okay, assassin time. Satek, or Sek, is going to fire a crossbow at you, Illustrious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it just like slides past you. As it slams into the wall, you can see it dripping with poison. Absolutely sodden with poison.
Okay.
All right, so then the druid essentially sort of stands there, raises his arms up, and sort of like begins to grow plants around the top of the door to try and force the door closed. And he's sort of like just sat there, sort of looking, and you see those brown teeth sort of sparking through. The champion begins sort of whistling, and whistles for the dog to kind of move out of the moonbeam. So it will do that on its go. And other than that, they are now sort of like marching forward towards the gate. So I think I'm going to get them to there. War chaplain's not going to do anything on this round. Okay, cool. The mastiffs are all dead, aren't they? No, they're not. Right, mastiff attack. Mastiff attack. There it is.
Mastiff
I knew
attack.
it'd come around somewhere. All right, mastiff attack. Comes in for the bite with advantage. 19 doesn't hit.
Get off my boot.
Okay, good. The priest is now starting to sort of feel the strain, and you need to move. Is sort of what they shout. It's like, out now. Okay, Loretta.
Bonus action to second wind. So I regain 1d10 plus my fighter level. So let me roll d10.
And you'll get the 6 temp too, right?
Yeah.
From
1d6 plus 4.
So 8 plus 2 is going to be 10. Do I get that at the start or the end of my
The end.
Okay, cool. I'll wait till then. So that's plus 10 for the moment. So I'm 13. Half my movement to stand up, which is 12 and a half because I've got little legs. And I will use my action to disengage. And I will begin to run the 10 feet there, and I will then I don't know whether it's a. Oh Lord, this is too much pressure, Joe. Okay, I am. Because only I can switch place for the creature. Yeah, I'm going to action surge, and I am going to make a dash.
Yeah,
for
get the
the
hell out of there.
Yeah.
Can I drag Illustrious with me though?
I think if the willing creature, yeah, why not? Let's do it.
So drag with and just make an absolute bolt for it, like straight out. And I think with 25 would get me to there.
Okay, cool. So yeah, carry on.
I was going to say, can I stop there and like brace whilst...
Well, the thing is, as you run through, what you notice is that Speaker lets go. As you run through, and he takes out his knife and just cuts the rope. As you're the kind of like, who's actually there? Clove, you're there because you were with the child, weren't you?
Yeah.
I've got it.
Nora got the child.
Okay, but he's going to go to you, Clove. And he kind of grabs hold of you, and he says the classic lines. Run, you fools. No, he says, I've got the gate. And then he grabs hold of you, and he whispers something in your ear. As he lets go, he just goes... As his blade goes through his chest. As it lets go, and he falls down the gate, you see the face of Bartak. They look through the gate, just go open this gate. I'll see you later. And it sort of like just watches as the rest of you scramble to grab your things. As you grab the child and you run off into the darkness. We see you kind of disappear into the night. Day and a half kind of passes back at the gate as they begin to try and put things back together. And as the gate, first moments that it lifts into the air, 4 horses burst out. 2 go to the west. 2 go to the east. As we fade to black. Okay. Good. All right. So first episode is done. As we go through for the next time that we'll be together, we'll see which direction they have actually gone to. Have they gone to the west, gone to the east? We'll find out next time. But I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope everybody's enjoyed it. I know we went on a little bit later than usual, but I think it was worth it. I want to say massive thank you to Stuart, to Melissa, to Rowan, and of course to Dan. Thank you so much for coming along and playing. Had so much fun. I hope you had fun too.
It's a great session.
So much fun.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Joe.
If you guys are at home, keep an eye on the socials. It'd be great if you could jump on to follow everything, subscribe everything, tick that bells, everything, because it means that we can announce to you guys when the next episode of this will come along, and make sure that you guys don't miss it, because I hope that you will enjoy it. If not, come and see us on Sunday over at Exactly Way for the Rebel DMs chat show of not come back for the TPK and see how I annihilate them on Friday the 23rd at 6 p.m. BST. If not, I love you guys very much. Unless there's anything else we'd like to say before we finish.
Just go and follow Zach's Big Waves channel, so then you'll see exactly when we go on Sunday, because we're going to host it there. I'm going to do a little shout out now on the thing, but go and give them some love, go and give them a follow. They do some great stuff, and also that's where you can see the next Rebel DMs.
Yeah. So is anybody else here streaming at the moment? Anybody playing in any games so we could keep our eyes out for at the moment? I hope that will change soon.
All private.
All private.
I guess. Check me out tomorrow on twitch.tv/DMPhilly for D&D in Space, the Dragonfly show.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we put a shout out for that. Of course, D&D in Space is just absolutely amazing. And of course, it's with the, the walrus of D&D, the most beautiful voice ever to come across on Twitch. It is DM Philly, so make sure you do pop over and see them as well. Alrighty, so I'll see you guys very, very soon. I think as usual, don't let the systems put you down. Go off and change them. And I'll see you guys next time. Big love. Mwah. Bye.
Love.